Hello there indeed. This is going to be back on YouTube after this. This is technically number two, but really it's the first stream. Now, unfortunately, uh, I had to. I have to build this set, right? Samurai VXL, because I need the Neo suit for Where to the Departed. So that was something I didn't quite expect. I have all the ninja in there, and yeah, I haven't built this yet, so I do need to build it. So we've got Samurai VXL here. We're going to be doing that. I'm going to wait for some folks to jump on in the stream first. But yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting, I think. We're going to have some guests on, hopefully, but I'm not going to make any promises on who, because I don't know. As of right now, because it was very last minute. Very, very last minute. Let's pull the chat up. Oh, I lost a subscriber. That's typical. Hello there, General Kenobi. Everyone is here. Absolutely amazing. Thank you all for coming on out. Yeah. Okay, we're going to start. That's what we're doing. We get the forward timeline in this set, I believe. Hello there, everyone. It's all right. You have to be in the chat. 1, 3, 2, wheel. Hello there, our toy world. It's long time no see. Oops, almost knocked that over. And instruction booklets. Absolutely epic. Now that's epic, guys. I'm going to throw the box away. Don't need that. It's now 2017 set has just been unboxed, open here. What a crazy time to be alive, huh? Over there. Over there. Number 1, open time. I'm queen whatever I want to be. No spoilers for the Lego Movie 2, but you can quote that. I allow that. I allow that song to be quoted, as long as it's not too spoilery. I don't know. I've not seen the movie myself, actually, but I know what happens, so... And I've been watching the clips that have been slowly uploaded, because I won't get to go see it until it comes out on disc. Right. I forgot you get the Medusa clone in here. Yeah. No, it wasn't. In fact, it stagnated for like 4 months. But to be fair, to be honest, there's a lot of other factors that go into channel growth, and one thing, my channel generally just died. I think YouTube killed a lot of algorithm changes were happening at that time. But I don't know. I think there's a psychological impact having 1,000 subscribers has on you, but well, not on you, but on people that watch. But obviously, I'm a small fry compared to some of my friends. But so you know, I don't really know. I've heard it is. I guess psychologically it would be for people that are subscribing, but I'm not too certain on that. Right, we're going to throw this down here. You guys, there's a bit more space today. Just finished filming a video. We're going to be building on camera today. Let me scoot on up. Let me just move these lamps out of the way. There's some lamps underneath. Oops, I broke it. Let me just scoot right on up to the area of building today. In my chair. Right, here we go. Now, first, we get to build the. I'm going to move the iMac over here a little bit. Samurai VXL from 2017. So, gonna build Samurai X first, or Pixel. Uh-oh, spoilers. This suit is actually pretty cool. I can't wait to use this one. I will be using this character. This is going to be the main samurai for this design, really. So I was meaning to open it eventually, but my original plan was to open it with a special guest on my face reveal streams. After I hit 1,500, I'll be doing streams with face reveal. Revive the channel. You just got to keep making content, and you got to start making relevant content. It's really difficult, especially if you're known for something already. If you get to like really big levels of success, like you get 100,000 subscribers, and you're known for one style of content, and then you stop, or it goes out of style, and you try to do something else, it can be really difficult. But we're slow down, right? Like, I'm not being funny, but 1,000 subscribers is nothing. It's like a drop in the pool now. Like, it's not what it used to be. So it's a good milestone, 100%. It's as good as 100 is. It's as good as 10 is even, but it's not a big of a deal, honestly. You can revive a channel. It'll just take a little bit longer, and you have to keep uploading videos. I haven't been able to watch many videos. Chris Production Studio. I really enjoy his videos, and he's just started making his series again on building his Jedi Temple, and I haven't been able to watch him. I saw the first one. I just had so much to do. It's just a lot of non-video watching, but I got time to stream today, so I decided that if I was going to build this character, this set, then it was going to be on stream. Probably should hurry up and build this character. You're going to now see firsthand how bad I am, even when I'm comfortably leaning over. Oh, that's a cool head. Oh, actually, I've got some ideas. The back of that head looks like a face. Well, I'll keep that to myself for now. Anyway. Oh, did I put the wrong legs on? I put the right legs on. I'm a fool. Couldn't really see with the light. Hello there. I enjoyed 3 out of 4 of them, and I didn't hate the last one. I just think it didn't fit. All right. Well, hello there. Hello. Do you think the new design of Cythoquakes will be in Season 10? I think the golden weapons will be destroyed, not destroyed, rendered useless. And yes, I will briefly link the link to the chat in the description. Not in the description, in the chat. I'll post it and I'll remove it because later on. So I'll give you all a fair chance to join, I guess. It could be a bit mad. So I will be kicking people that make trouble, but I don't think any of you will, so we'll see what happens. Let me just get this video together first, because I will be here for all night if I don't. Yeah, the scythe. It's something, I guess. Do. Nicely done. There he is. Or there she is. Spoilers. Rightio then. Rightio then. Now, old chap. Oh, wonderful. Joining my link. I'm going to be enabling that. Going to be creating that link, and we're going to be dropping it. 3, 2, 1. Bam. Here we are. You should be able to join. Wow. Amazing. The link of the century. 10 people watching. I'm going to delete it in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I didn't remove it. That was for nothing. Now I can't remove it. Hello there.
Hello. Right, am I muted?
Nope, can hear you. Did I remove it?
Wait, yeah, I think I'm unmuted.
No, I can hear you.
Yeah, that's good. Wait, I'm gonna have to mute the stream because I'm hearing like a delay between everybody. Right, that's better. I'm still watching now, which is good.
How many people have joined? We've got just me and you, but other people have joined the chat.
Okay, I'll try and make good conversation during this.
Is
this the Samurai VXL?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that was one of the only Hands of Time sets I was planning on getting. But it was a pretty good wave, but I just had no money at the time when all of them came out.
Same. I only got. It's why it's still built. I only got and built the Dawn of Iron Doom, which is a brilliant set.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that is a pretty good one. I think I found with the.
I was in such a rush at the end of 2017. I wanted the Titanium Tumble. I wanted like a few more sets, but I didn't manage to get them. Yeah. But I'm glad I got these because then they decided that was the year they started to wipe them out in November. So I literally got them for my birthday, and then a month later or 2 months later, they were all gone, and I thought I had more time than that.
Ooh.
So that was a bit sad.
Yeah, I got the the Ronin Rex mech, the salvage mech from
Departed
when that came out. but I didn't get around to getting any from Hands of Time. I don't know. I still quite like Hands of Time, but it's just probably not my favorite series.
No, it was alright. Hello there.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Man.
You alright then? How's everyone been? That's the most small talk I can create for this stream. How's your day going? How's the weather? Pretty good.
Yeah, the day has been pretty good. I was up till midnight last night trying to finish an assignment.
Oh wow! I was up until beyond midnight, but I was animating a video, so it's not as important. So.
No, I like that. That'll be more interesting. More fun.
I was up all night trying to do a stop motion.
Yeah, that's one thing I've never really. I genuinely don't think I've got the patience for long stop motions. Like I envy all of you because you can do so much. Like
My battery just dies all the time. It's ridiculous. I need to get another one, but they cost like £53 per piece for Canon batteries. And I don't want to do it because I mean I got 50 at the moment, but that's my 50, and if it goes, it goes. I'm getting another. I'm not gonna save up that amount for a long time. I'm not gonna have that to spare.
Yeah, I did I'm just trying to think. I think I think I had a fairly decent camera a while ago, like from I think I got when I was younger, but I've lost that. So now whenever I try and make stop motions or do anything with my camera, I just use the one on my phone. I can sort of make a stand out.
Yeah,
of it,
phones
so that's cool.
Phones, they're a bit underrated, I think, but they do work.
I hate like how phones are like their battery percent, like they only last for 2 hours, like my iPhone does.
Yeah.
You can plug them in though.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Mine overheats when I'm using the camera and it's plugged in though.
Yeah.
The worst part is I found the developer tools in my phone, so I've discovered this thing where I can maximize CPU performance. It just means now whenever I have it like plugged in, or if I'm doing something intensive, I can just feel it warming up in my hand. I'm like, nah.
Oh yeah.
Please don't die on me.
Fun. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, it's not. It's not fun. Obviously, I can only shoot. It takes 3 hours to charge the battery up. It's ridiculous, and then it's only like an hour and a half. So once that's once it's out, it's out. I can't do any more for another 3 hours. And I was sick late last week, but I started animating again because I just what else was I going to do? And so
that's pretty good, yeah. Oh, yeah, how's the Way of the Departed project going?
This is why I'm building this. I was going to do it months later, but I need Nia's suit.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's one out of all the. Although I'm not a big fan of the Hands of Time suits, I do think Nia's look pretty good in this.
I think they all looked really good, but the problem is that a little bit of a secret. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a vlog, not a vlog, but an update thing that will come out afterwards. That is going to my journey of making it from now and managing the project from after I start animating, and it'll be in there. But other than that, this is the only time I'm going to mention this. In my chapter, there will be Kai and Zane, and they will not have the Hands of Time suits, but it's gonna look like they do. I do technically have access to them, but my brother lost them, so I spent all morning looking for them in his room, tearing up everything, just trying to find them, and even he started doing it, as long as I promised to play a video game with him. And then, so that was half the day gone already. All the day, basically.
I will have to say this, though, the Hands of Time suits are way better than that. Like the Ninjago movie suits.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll hand it to them. The movie suits are just
they're awful.
I appreciate the how simple they were, but
they weren't uniformed at all.
Yeah,
they just looked like if someone splashed the paint bucket all over them.
And Kai had
black.
Jumper.
Oh, that was awful. Kai's the worst.
Christmas jumper,
I'm not gonna lie,
looks so stupid.
I do like Lloyd's.
Actually, yeah, Lloyd had a pretty good one.
But he wasn't the green ninja. He was basically black ninja with green highlights.
Yeah.
At least with Deepstone, they had a reason for being that. Because it was Deepstone.
That's one thing I don't understand how that is good. The Nia suit from Skybound. Like, they suddenly just changed her color scheme back to dark red.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
That was really confusing.
Skybound. No.
Skybound had the black highlights as well, but for some reason, the only blue on a suit was the Phoenix emblem.
Yeah, but I've always been weird with Nia. The first time she had a ninja suit was with Possession. Then it went to Skybound. Then it went to Day of the Departed. Then Hands of Time when they changed it to this Aqua.
Yeah.
And
But I think
Legacy, we've got kind of like design whiplash right now because they did Legacy, and it was red and blue, and now the next suits are going to be Aqua again. Hello, Anakai.
Yeah.
Hey. To be honest, I
Here
feel
to
like
moderate my chat.
I feel like the Nia suits. I feel like they should like stick which one they wanted to pick. Like it's kind of like I don't feel like they should like switch it back around.
It's just going to be confusing for new fans. Like
they should have stuck with. They should have just stuck with something instead.
At least when it's on the market, like with Legacy, they're still gotta. I mean, it's the worst time to do it with this Legacy wave because it's so confusing with March of the Oni anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not showing any of the summer sets at Toy Fair, so it's just going to be.
Honestly, though, I feel like they should have like. I feel like March of the Oni shouldn't.
It was the best selling theme last year, though, so they might not want to show people that the price comes with success. Yeah. At least we're going to keep getting Ninjago for a little longer, but whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I would still like the set, but I think the show should end.
Yeah,
the set should still continue. Yeah. I'm still on the mind that they should not reboot the show, but just make a non-Lego show. Like if they can do it, if they can do that with like Bionicle and even Lego Friends, like that had a non-Lego animated show.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they could do it for Ninjago and then actually get a bigger audience. Because I find what's a bit annoying is you know how like on Twitter and stuff and all like fandoms and stuff. There's a lot of people who are really big fans of like animated shows and things. You hear so much about like Adventure Time and I'm just trying to think. I
was saying it last time about Ninjago not being very top.
It's just a bit sad, but I feel like it might be the Lego part that's maybe pushing people away from it a little bit.
I think it's just not old enough. I mean, saying that it's the oldest on Cartoon Network, but I just think that it's not reached that. It's not had anything, and the movie kind of made it worse. It's not done anything super, new. It's just a show that's good, that kind of like skirts along the line for most people, and it's no more than that. It's never gotten their attention before, and it's never tried to, and that's it. That's what it appeals to. It's just cool toys that sold well last year. That's all it matters to most people. That they're like, oh, I can buy that for my kid. But as for the show, I mean, when you look at it, I was saying, I think I was saying this last time, but Tommy Andreasen has no, I wasn't. It was on an interview I did, but Tommy Andreasen on Twitter and the Hagemans and everyone that went on Twitter, and after a while, you started seeing these accounts pop up that were following them, that were basically just following them. And there were fans that became fans after watching the show because their kids were watching it. And they're, interestingly enough, they usually were very, and still are very refined to like one of those areas. They don't really spread out too far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you notice them on that account, on those accounts, and it's just it's interesting to see. I've not been reading the chat. I'm sorry. Because I'm trying to focus on here, but
sorry, I can read through the chat.
If any questions come along, so I'm just trying to focus on building. And
our Toy World. Hey man. Sorry, it's although my account just says Amigo, it's the Bricks Hub. I don't know if you remember. Sorry, some guy in the chat. I think we've been subscribed to each other for quite a while.
Yeah, I know.
I just catch up on some of the old stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, Why is Hunted? Why is Hunted so overrated? I'll give you that. I think the show was okay, but
the first realm stuff was brilliant. The first realm stuff was amazing, but Ninjago was kind of meh.
Yeah. I kind of lost it with the Dragon Hunters after a while though.
I mean,
I only really found Jet Jack interesting because of
the problem with
design and Iron Baron was kind of funny because of his voice.
I think the problem the only problem with it is that they didn't go far enough. They kind of were really safe with it, and although like the structure of the experience in the first realm was really good, the actual content was a little bit confusing, especially considering we don't even know what they are. The hunters are. We have no idea who they are. where they came from, anything.
Yeah.
They've really kind of confused themselves and everyone else on this Oni and Dragon thing. And to make matters worse, then they go ahead and they turn the Eastern idea of the first Spinjitzu master into this Western one. This is like always really gets me. In the Sons of Garmadon introduction for it, it's like he didn't want to choose either side, so he left to make a new realm. He cruises up in Ninjago. What does he do? He chooses a side.
Yeah.
And it fits with the Western style, but not when they've created these. It's like they can't decide what they want to do, so they say these things. They make people think there's one thing, and then they're like, "Oh, nah, that's too complicated. That's not good enough for kids or whatever." And then they change it to be more good bad.
Actually, no. The one I think someone did mention there about the suits. I agree with the messed up suits. Like,
which ones?
You know how
Hunted.
the hunted ones, they were just like ripped versions of the Sons of Garmadon ones. I thought that was quite funny. They lost their appeal a little bit after a while. I think they were kind of badass, but then when you realize like Coles is just literally just being held together by like
Okay, I forgot this figure even existed. I love it.
Yeah.
Which one? Actually, wait. You might want to, on the stream. Is there any way to get it so yours is only showing on the stream? Because for some reason my logo, it's just my logo is showing on.
I thought that's awful.
What just happened?
Oh, it's that general.
No, my account just glitched out. That's why.
It did? Oh.
I had it screen sharing, but the one that's actually streaming this just glitched out.
Oh. Is that the general who's like, haha, I am.
Yeah, well, it's
you people are incompetent.
Dan made her the mother of all the snakes,
which is a good idea. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was a bit funny. I thought the other two generals in the Hands of Time were just like, it's like, what was it?
They were the comedic duo. The thing that always gets me
with
the Vermilion is that there were only 3 sentient ones, and the rest were basically just tools. And that's kind of cool, but it's pretty lame when you think about it, because all these other figures that they made are just completely worthless because they're just snakes.
Yeah.
Also, they were
they didn't have personality in them.
I just think it was, and they never followed up with it. They kind of just disappeared.
Well, yeah, for a series about time travel, I don't understand why it spent so long in a swamp.
Yeah. I don't understand why they made it out of the Great Devourer.
Yeah. They could probably have renamed the season something else. I don't know, Plague or something.
Going back in
pretty much. The time travel just made it really confusing, and especially considering that the Hagemans weren't too interested in it. It just created this weird situation where they treated like nothing happened. And already combining the Hagemans' already interesting ideas on continuity, it kind of what even happened?
Yeah, I've got a feeling one bunch of people wanted to make
yeah, there was definitely
wanted to make a season about one bunch wanted to make a season about the Great Devourer's kids or something being using to take over Ninjago, and the other side wanted the Time Twins to take over, and it's like, all right, yeah, we'll just kind of combine them together a little bit.
I do think it's the idea behind this sort of very portable army was good for Crux. I think that was the best he could have had, being just this guy underneath, hidden. That's the best way it could have happened. I think the swamp being underneath, that was a bit hard to believe that no one found that.
Yeah,
but
half the season took place on the streets of the city, which I was getting a little bit fed up with because there'd been so many parts where it's just like, oh yeah, Ninjago City is under attack again.
That's the ironic part, is that up until that point it'd only been attacked. Okay, hold on, let's count this. So the Great Devourer was the first real attack to it. It was the first attack to it.
Yeah.
Then the Stone Army kind of appeared there, but it wasn't.
No. The Stone Army was a massive thing. The Stone Army was a massive bit.
But they didn't. But they came back. No, I mean the Overlord attacked later. But when the Stone Army just showed up and then left.
That was weird.
I wonder if they just walked across under the ocean to get back to the Dark Island. That would be interesting. Can they?
That would be pretty cool.
I made their weakness water in my series because one thing I was annoyed by is that they kind of just we never saw the Stone Army again, right? Besides just a few cameos with Derek. But one thing that always got me is that the ninja had to get these special powers, these special blades to attack them. And I always interpreted that when they created the elemental powers, that it wasn't just elemental powers that could stop them, but rather it was these special blades that could do it. And I don't know if that is. I think possibly the elemental powers could be the reason, but because I didn't want to have the ninja carrying around the blades in my last season. I just gave Nia the power to defeat them, but now thinking about it, in the show, they would have had to have walked underwater, so I kind of just...
Yeah.
That makes no sense anymore.
Well,
one thing I really liked about Possession is that there was a clear idea. You couldn't kill the ghosts because they were ghosts, but then when you used either the deep stone or water, it was like a...
Oh, no, the Overlord... Oh, this is a problem. No, okay. The Overlord makes no sense anymore. And I don't... The Oni should be more important than the Overlord, and this is the real big problem that the Overlord has caused. Because now, okay, first off, he's got a really vague origin. It's awful. It is really bad. Oh, he's the darkness. There's no explanation to how he was created.
evil.
He's just that.
Yeah.
And my headcanon right now is that the reason why the first I can't speak. The reason why he chose the dragon side is because he did kind of like, I don't know if anyone's watched Dragon Ball, and Kami and Piccolo being split, and it's my thought in my personal little canon in my mind for this explanation is that the Overlord is the dark half, the only half of the first Ninjutsu Master. In that sense, he's the darkness within the first Ninjutsu Master, and that's why he picked the dragon side after joining, because it's like, okay, I've dispelled my darkness, and I'm now embracing this side. You know, that was. There's no proof for that, but I just think it's a cool idea, and I think it explains... There's a lot of different ideas you can have for how to explain them away, but they just don't seem interested in doing that.
Yeah. Like, I like the Overlord in, like, the rebooted and, like, Season 2 of Ninjago, like, how he, like, he betrayed Lord Garmadon and, like, possessed his body and became this dragon. I'm like, shouldn't Lord Garmadon in the inside, shouldn't that hurt him a lot?
Yeah, that was weird. I'm not gonna lie, I did not like the possession part of that. That was so stupid.
Yeah.
That was... If there was one thing... I don't like the final battle a lot, but the finale was good, and I think I really do like that episode, all those episodes, but the one thing that I just can't excuse is the way that the Overlord possessed him. You know, we're in the much of the finale.
I mean, it was like he was like, oh yes, I'm going to rule Ninjago, ha ha ha. And it's just like you got the Overlord just like,
just forced his way inside him.
So you got to wonder. You think you'd be a little bit skeptical of some eternal ancient power like flying orb thing.
Yeah.
Isn't going to share power.
The Oni weren't bad villains, but they... Well, I guess they kind of were, but they didn't have to be.
Yeah.
Is a lot of people like to just brush across a villain and not really accept their potential. It's like with Harumi. A lot of people overrate her, although I think she kind of fell off the mark for me in a lot of ways, actually. She was very close to being the very best villain, overtaking Moro, but I just don't think she... I think after when she revealed with Lloyd, it's like just suddenly it was just... The minute she walked out that cave, it was like a completely different character was there. It was like typical bad guy number 25. If you go back and watch that episode, you might. I think you'll see what I mean. I think a lot of people were interested in. She had a motivation, and it didn't really come back until Hunted. And that's what I never really understood. Is that for the rest of Sons of Garmadon, she was just kind of like this evil person for the sake of being evil. She never really talked about her motivations again. She never really did anything that would make sense to her motivation again. She just kind of like revived Lord Garmadon and then started, and then followed him around and started acting like she understood the world and everything about it. But with the Oni, there was a lot of setup and not a lot of payoff.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like the episode 96 for the Oni, they were really scary at first, but when you saw the final episode...
Oh, the final episode kind of like ruined it all. Oh, and that's what I was going to say. In the finale, one thing I thought was going to happen, when Garmadon started to turn into something, I, for a split second, thought he was going to turn into that form the Overlord took when he possessed him. And I think the CGI...
And now we got Uncanny Valley Oni Garmadon.
And now you've just got flat face.
How tall was he actually supposed to be, though? Because from what I'm seeing from, Omega was actually taller than all of the Oni. Almost
it's hard. It's... Really? I don't...
Yeah, if you actually look at the comparison when it's like the size, it was really weird.
Oh,
because we're like, I'll take the big one. So, but you never actually saw Garmadon stood next to any of the other ninja when he was in his Oni form, so it was hard to tell.
Yeah. Like, I thought for a minute there he was going to turn to, like, his old form from, like, during season 1 where he had, like, his 2 arms and stuff.
Oh yeah, where he's like in the shadow, like he had that. That was really
I was so hyped when I saw the mask, but then it panned up and we saw the face, and I'm like, oh. And his horns were weird too. I wish. Okay, this is the one problem. Okay, going back to the whole the pacing thing, I think the only way I can justify the reason why the finale was such a disappointment is that the first 3 episodes were paced in a certain way. Okay, they were paced in this certain and very slow but very ominous building up way, and that's why they were so good. They were constant to each other. They were consistent. They didn't feel rushed. They didn't feel anything. But then it's like the final episode comes along and they realize, oh wait a second, we've only got 1 episode left, and they cram everything in. And I think what happened, the reason why this is because originally it could have been planned for a lot longer, and then the news, came out that no, we're only doing 4 episodes, and so they kept the first 3, but they kind of just
actually,
episode 4.
that could have happened, yeah.
And they rejigged episode 4, slapped everything down in it, and bam, done. And that's why
it did feel a bit rushed.
Hasn't moved. That's why they just suddenly appear at the monastery. That's why all these things happen seemingly out of the blue. First Master, they all get crammed in at the end, and then we get another happy ending. It's like,
yeah.
What was the
I wasn't expecting Cole to die though. I mean, did anyone really?
Yeah. Dude, when people
that was so stupid. Like, that was and then they tried to do it Lloyd. Oh, okay. If it was one thing that annoyed me in that episode, besides the golden weapons being held by all 4 in the armor being held by Wu and Kai. If there was one thing that annoyed me, it was that
first Spinjitzu master scene.
That happened. That was so stupid.
Yeah.
To be honest, I did actually like that scene though where he was talking to the first Spinjitzu.
Oh yeah, that was a really good scene.
But like, is he still dead or is he like alive? That's the question.
Yeah, Kai. Sorry, not Kai. Lloyd. Like, what were they thinking? Like, oh yeah, he died. Right? I mean, like. I know that they were doing this whole thing with the first Master. He's a bit of like this aloof god, and he's really like out of touch.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they did it that way, because if he had like come down all radiant and good, then I would have been a bit suspicious. It would have been a bit weird. I think that his complacency towards Ninjago is odd. Like and the problem is that if it was any other show, I'd be like, oh, they're gonna do something with that. But because it's Ninjago, it's like, oh, I don't think they are.
I know you guys too well.
This is gonna end one way, and I don't like it. And I hate saying that, but their track record is plot elements are good in the moment. Once they've done them once, they never need to be touched again.
Despite us constantly complaining about the show, I still really like the show.
I find it ironic.
I'm just got a habit of nitpicking, I think.
I just find it ironic that the moment, as we started complaining about continuity changes, the Hagemans started getting more and more defensive of them breaking continuity for whatever purpose, for either ease of writing or whatever reason they had for it, if they wanted to tell a different story. That's the one thing I never really understood. I can somewhat understand, like, you think continuity, you would rather tell this story than be confined to this story, and you've only got, there's a lot of limitations that Lego put on them. So I completely understand that, but it's just the fact that they so adamantly and just turned on this, turned around and were like, no, we're right. That's how it should be. And I think that's not right. I've been really picking on them recently, and I don't mean to. It's just it's weird. They had some weird opinions on how to write Ninjago specifically. Everything since they came back. After...
I'll leave it up to the pros with it, but I mean they're not even here anymore, so I guess
no, they stopped. So it's like now, then Braggy. I don't think Braggy. I don't think he intentionally was the same. I think
maybe Hageman did. He was like,
I don't think so though, because the first 3 was so good. They were so good. In fact, they were so good, I couldn't even make a video on one of them because nothing was out of place. I just felt so content with it. That's amazing. I mean, okay, that could be somewhat bad as well, considering the seasons as well, that there was nothing for me to chew on besides stuff that I'd already thought about before, and I didn't make a video on. So that could be, a criticism, especially in this season, and it ended up not turning out great. But L2's joining.
Yeah, I don't think the end of March of the Oni was as bad as some people are saying it is online, but I don't think it was perfect either. I did feel a little bit empty coming out.
I think the season as a whole was just really messed up structure-wise, and they were never gonna. They did damage control. Really, it was always going to be like that. There was no way, there was no reality within those 3 episodes being released that the 4th one was ever going to be better than that. They did their absolute best, and they minimized the damage. But it still is the fact that they decided to give it 4 episodes, or they decided to pace them like that. That just confuses me.
What made me mad though, the ninjas for like Kai J and Kai J, they never used her like golden weapons to like use her power of them.
Actually, okay, that's a good point. Okay, he is technically Ninjago's god, and this is the thing that I am so confused about with the way they decided to go with this.
Wait, who are you answering here?
In the chat, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I think
he is the god of Ninjago. Now, the question becomes, especially now that we've seen the Oni and the Dragons, how did they get there? And I was hoping, I made a video back in October, like, the dragons have already been shown to us, they aren't anything special, they're just beasts. So what are they going to do with the Oni? And I am a bit disappointed in the sense that the Oni didn't get much to shine, and they didn't get much explanation or anything. We got a few half-baked scenes, and that was it. But overall, I think that the damage that this has done to the sort of landscape of Ninjago lore is a lot greater than I think a lot of people are realizing. Because before, we had a very clear understanding, or at least no matter what was changed in the show, in the now, we always could look at the past, and it was relatively untouched. And although the first Ninja Masters showing up didn't break any of that miraculously, I think that what it did by dwelling with the past and dwelling with the Oni did more damage than it did good.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I feel like the golden weapons should like stay in Ninjago now on, because like
they should, but they ran out of power at the end of the episode, I think.
Yeah, if you destroy
they ran out of power.
Yeah, they stopped glowing. I don't know if you noticed.
Batteries ran out.
They just stopped glowing. And I don't get one thing. How did Kai give them their elemental powers back?
That's actually a good question. Maybe like Jay is shooting lightning out there.
But he didn't. He just kind of like turned around and like voila, and then Jay had a fit.
Like
back that one is done almost, I think.
Yeah, like the only thing I wish.
How long did that take me? An hour.
I feel like though.
How long have we been going for? Oh no, half an hour. Okay, all right, not that long.
Wait, what?
Half an hour. Okay, it took me half an hour to build back one, but I am on a roll now. I'm gonna let you know.
So what were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say, once you own it, I feel like the final episode, like if you watch it as a full movie, it makes kind of sense, but doesn't at the same time.
I don't think the movie will fix it. Unfortunately, it's the pacing of the first 3 that kind of ruin the last one. Not ruin it.
I think it actually worked better as a movie, just because final acts of films are always kind of a bit like
better
rushed sometimes. So I think it would come together, because I thought it felt a bit rushed. But the more you think about it, if it's a movie, things are just going to be like it's just going to be shorter anyway. So it's like.
But they have a second act that would lead up to it, and they don't have that.
So confused me a little bit, because I thought the final. Because to be honest, in the March of Oni, I thought the final episode. I thought like the ninja were going to lose the battle. After that, the movie's going to come, and like they're going to like still battle the Oni and win in the movie. But no, it's like the final episode.
Yeah, they're just going to rejig it and throw it out at us again. And I don't.
Are they going to? Well, I didn't want them to redo what they would have done in you know how in Hunted in Sons of Garmadon, where they went back to.
See,
it's interesting how long the Oni have been a thing in the series.
I would have preferred like literally a year. That's it. They were introduced last year.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're here. No, they're gone again.
I don't think that's it. That shouldn't be it.
It shouldn't be, but I get the feeling it is.
For now, I think.
Is how they killed off Mustafa.
I love how that they would remove
what was that?
with creation.
Oh. Yeah, I'm actually got mad then like how they killed off Mustafa.
Yeah, Mustafa died kind of.
Oh yeah, she didn't she?
Randomly.
Yeah.
No, I mean it was a good scene because it's out of Garmadon's power, but then they kind of like went back on that when the Omega showed up. We have no, and the problem is that they gave the Oni this horde style aesthetic, and it just doesn't work when you consider like what was Mistake then? Like why was she
Yeah.
different? And why did only a few of them go into Ninjago? I mean,
Yeah.
why did it seems like they seem like the kind of enemy that would just pour all their might into one force and overwhelm with numbers, not one. It's how they fought against the dragons, I guess. The dragons were individually powerful, but they were. But then the Omega shows up, I guess, and is so overpowered that they kind of like balance out against the dragon, and that's why they won. Like, but especially with the flashback, it's like they just showed up one day. We got no explanation of where they went, what they were doing, how they got stronger. Nothing. It's just we got to accept
like
it.
showed the Oni like appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah, and although I like that scene, I think for the conquest on the first realm, that's a bit on the Oni's part. That's a bit. They're lucky that turned out right because they were at war with these people these dragons for a long, long time, and for them to show up and just start, and how many dragons were in the realm? We never really got an answer to that.
Honestly, though, I feel like in SOG, my favorite episode for like Lord Garmadon had to be episode 83, because like when he was battling Lloyd, that got intense in my opinion.
Yeah, I always thought it was really weird that he got that at the end of Hunted though he got arrested. It was like what?
Oh, that was horrible.
It makes sense for the plot now, but it was just like what?
Once he was in there, it's like ripping off a bandage. It's like once he was in there, it was a good position because it's like I loved the scene where the warden runs away. That was brilliant because like in the early days of Ninjago, Garmadon inspired such terror in the civilians, and I never really got it because especially and that was always how I was viewing it because there were scenes, when Wu and Garmadon come back from that realm.
Yeah,
the terror on the civilians' faces. They recognize it's Garmadon and they run. And he had basically just been banished and then stayed in the underworld for what I guess works out to be like 10 years, 11 years, because Lloyd would have had to have been born. I wouldn't say he was born. Maybe we can push it and say perhaps. I mean, Garmadon would have to have fallen in love, so that Venom couldn't have been enough close to when he decided to take the weapons. So
I really like that the whole thing where yes, it comes and goes. He's like, he's still evil because he got bitten as a child, but he's suddenly good for like ages.
It is. That's and like I get that what they were trying, and this is why I'm not.
But that was there for a reason, and I'm happy they did because it works.
Problem. I've made videos on this before, but a big problem I have with season 1 Garmadon is that he wasn't a continuation of Pilot Garmadon. It's like they hit the reset button and decided to do something else. In the pilot, it was a blank slate, but there was a very in a good way. Like they did set up a little bit of stuff, especially the relationship with Wu, his past, a lot of stuff that they did. They decided to change and alter to go down this other route, focusing on this other character, and I don't like that, especially considering the way they decided to go with that and turn Garmadon into a good guy. For a long time, he was the good guy. He was just another good guy, and he was working for his son. He wasn't all evil, and I don't think we understood the character really at all well enough for that at that point. He was still a mystery, and he left, and then Wu just shows up in that realm and is like, "Oh, yeah, I knew where you were the whole time. There was no problem."
I'm still extremely surprised that the ninja are happy, just like forgetting that Garmadon like killed Mistake and they were friends with her, and it's just like, we don't mind.
Yeah.
I like how
then. Sorry, I thought you were talking about back in 2012.
Oh no, that's another thing I'm saying. Just another thing I mentioned.
Yeah.
Sorry,
my favorite episode for like Kai had to be episode 10 for like season 1 because like he was like, "I see you, Lord Garmadon. I see you, and I know you're evil."
Yeah. Actually, that was quite a funny one. Where he's on the ship. Yeah.
Cloud Kingdom, I think, are the biggest, ridiculous, and stupidest addition to Ninjago, and that's a big claim I'm making there. But
Cloud Kingdom?
They are. The Writers of Destiny are the single worst element that they have ever introduced. And I like the realm, I like the concept, but I don't like the concept. I think it's really silly. I think it makes everything trivial, and the fact that they had to tie it into the plot, just like, how can anything happen ever? Why should we care? They're doing it all.
Yeah.
And it's not even that they were like, the Hagemans were there. Like, I would have been okay with it if they decided to make it like, the writers are there.
Were the Hageman Bros? They weren't.
They were in prison at the time. They were in prison at the time in Ninjago. They've had cameos, but they weren't in the one place where they probably should have been. But anyway,
like
on that the idea of
I did like the episode with Cloud Kingdom in. Kingdom Come was actually a genuinely really.
It's a good episode, but the concept of the Cloud Kingdom is just so stupid. It's so bad. I hate
it. It's a good title. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Kingdom Come seemed like, especially when when Possession was airing. Like I remember when they listed all the names of the episodes when they were coming, and I saw Curse World Part 1 and 2, which had those were really good titles. And then I saw like Kingdom Come, and I was like, wow, that seems interesting.
I enjoyed the episode before when they and the end of that when
the Blind Man's Eye, that was cool.
Yeah, although that is basically the realm of the gods technically, but it wasn't, and they decided to go a different route with it and do Dragon and Oni, which I just think at that point you're just kind of like rubbing salt in the wound, because you've already given us this realm that controls literally everything that happens. But okay, fine, we'll just have to believe that's where the first Ninja Master came from. And
my favorite character in Ninjago is what's that dog thing? Oh my god!
The weird CGI monster. Do you mean that weird CGI?
I can't remember.
Oh, that was creepy.
Oh, wait, I know,
Someone in the chat give the name.
That looked. Oh, what was his name? Oh, I can't remember.
I got it.
That was so creepy.
The new.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks so out of place. That was. I remember
sorry,
that
what was his name again? Something Nimbus. That was it. Yeah,
Nimbus.
You're right.
That's what it was.
To be honest, I thought I was like, ninjas, you better destroy that thing.
Yeah.
That
was an atrocity.
Yeah.
One of the writers of Destiny ended up betraying the Cloud Kingdom anyway. So what was the point of that? Like, you're the head writer, you're basically the highest form of power, and oh no, you're just going to pettily help him take something. You're not going to give him ultimate power.
I'm out or something now, because he said he'd.
What's that?
I feel like Bancha. I feel like she possessed them, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, did he get possessed? Was he possessed by?
No, he wasn't. He straight up betrayed them because he ended up dying at the end when Nimbus
because he got left
him.
in Nimbus's. That's kind of
Nimbus
weird.
got left out, so it was so strange. Yeah. There was such a weird betrayal, especially they really don't handle god characters well anyway. Like, I mean, we found that out recently, but looking back, the only one that's actually
I kind of see them as monks, a bit like those guys that help.
But they are basically they're the highest form of being in the entire.
Nah, I just think they're instructed. They just do what they do. It's like it's just a realm.
They're very similar to the in Norse mythology, the Writers of Destiny. That's what they. Well, I think it's called the Weavers of Destiny, and the Tapestry of Time. And that's what I think they are supposed to be. And if they are, I know they are. They are very, very powerful. They're very important. I mean, we saw it wasn't like them bluffing or anything. I mean, they did that comical thing with Deref. And,
I like that. That's funny.
And it's funny, but it's also quite worrying. They take the universe just so unseriously.
I mean, I swear the Oni have taken over Cloud Kingdom. So who's writing?
Yeah, well, actually, we never saw that. That's the weird thing. In the trailer, we saw that in the Underworld, and it was so interesting because it's like we're going to see it, and I think that's part of another thing. I think they just cut it down to 4. Either what's going to happen is because apparently someone worked out he said there's going to be 6 hours of content, but 10 episodes plus these 4, that's not 6 hours. So there's more, and I think I'm hoping that in this movie it's going to be a little bit longer than we expect, and they're going to put some more stuff in it. But that's
this
really
movie. Wait, what do you mean about the movie?
Well, they're going to combine all 4 of them, and I just
hoping. They're gonna. All right, because I was thinking, wait, they're doing a separate series of the movie, and I was like, yeah. But yeah, if they do release it as a movie, I can imagine them maybe adding more content,
just a little bit more, and I just think that if they do that. Then
that could go a long way of improving some of the issues.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But saying that, if they don't, then we'll know that then I think that just supports my theory of the episodes being cut down.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would have been I don't know why they would have animated that though if they weren't going to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the that was really weird because I thought they were actually going to put that in one of the 4 episodes for now.
The UK exclusive magazine. I don't have today's or this month's one, isn't it? Iron Baron or something.
Yeah, it's Iron Baron, I think.
Well, that's okay. Iron Baron.
I keep seeing the magazines in Tesco, but I just go do I really want to spend this much on one figure?
It's like, they're just £4. It's like, okay, well, I already have that one, so I don't need. Need to
Like,
buy that. I do
are
regret
these
not getting
insane?
the Sons of Garmadon ones because there were two of them that were quite interesting.
Yeah.
Little grunt ones, but I never saw them. If I'd seen them in a shop, I would have bought them. I think. But then again, £4 is still quite a. And
Yeah.
the magazines, the last one I got, the magazine was absolute trash. The actual like content in it, like I remember getting magazines from the
I
Chima
don't
ones.
I don't even think they know. I think they just get like it's just a promotion team who do those things. That's why this
Yeah.
none of it's canon to the show.
No,
and
no, oh
most
no,
of it-
100%. In fact, I'm going to be doing a video on what's canon and not, and I do think there is a comic timeline. I'm going to call it that because none of it makes sense to the
I've not read
actual
any of the
canon of the
comics,
show.
but aren't they
But
kind of more
that's
young
the
oriented
Ninjago
anyway?
manga.
So
You know what's weird also in March of the Oni? How like they didn't put Day of the Departed in it.
I justify this because technically, when the Hagemans, they said that if it's not in the show, it's not canon, and they had always said that the Dark Island trilogy were canon. So my only thought there is that they originally had an idea for Day of the Departed, but I guess time because there's a Cartoon Network limit on intros, I think. So they cut it out, and I think in this way that they did it, although it's going to be confusing to some people, it does technically bring. Now, unequivocally, they can now say that everything has been referenced in the show is canon. So, technically, it does give us that. It gives us that peace of mind, I guess.
which was the Dark Island, whatever that Dark Island trilogy thing is,
Yeah,
that
it was
actually
canon.
canon.
But oh gosh, it's so contradictory. Okay, getting back
was
to that
wasn't it
Garmadon.
just Klaus just like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm still relevant?
Yeah,
I wanted to get the
exactly.
book at my stores, but they didn't have it, and they.
I do have them. I pulled them out in the last stream. I don't know where they went. Actually, no, here they are.
Oh. Wait, did they have pictures inside of them?
Are they well written, or are they just kind of?
No, not really.
Okay.
They're all right, I guess.
Because I mean, one thing I think
A
one
lot
of the
of
reasons
woo.
why the show has kept me watching is that the writing is actually surprisingly good.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
little bit of comic, and then it
That's what
turns
makes-
into this journal of Woo, who's just sort of like
yeah.
saying stuff. And there's like and then there's like just this, there's just episode 11 of Rise of the Snakes just randomly here.
When are they going to
That's
call
logical.
Woo Sensei Woo again?
I don't know. They
That's
always
the real
call him,
question.
like, Master Wu.
Oh, they changed that because some over offended person people decided to
Oh, they
get
said
all
it
on
was
Lego's
cultural
case about that.
appropriation.
Yeah, don't
That's
understand
annoying.
that logic.
Because isn't like the whole series kind of
Like it's so stupid. I hate that kind of thing. But that's why we lost our good old Sensei Wu. But now we just got Master Wu. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it is kind of like a slap in the face because there was nothing wrong with them calling him Sensei.
Yeah.
Like it sounds so much better than like Shifu Wu or even Master Wu. It just sounds right. I don't know. Maybe it's because he was called that for so long, but I just feel like Sensei and then a short name it's kind of like
Wu.
works. A long title but it's like Shifu Wu. It doesn't sound right. It's like it's a short title and then a shorter word or at least quickly to pronounce, and then you just go Wu, and it's like that doesn't really work. Oh, that's Chinese. I think Shifu. Am I saying that right? Is that master in Chinese? I think that is. Or is it something else? I can't remember. I'm doing the cultural appropriation. What was I saying before? Dark Island.
canon.
Oh yeah, the Dark Island.
The canon. Okay, so I'm making a video on this.
Expanded universe.
The only stuff that's canon, it's actually very simple. The show, everything referenced in the show, Dark Island trilogy, obviously, and also, there's also one other bit. I can't remember what it is. Oh, that's not good. And the mini movies. They are two sets of mini movies of canon: the recent Legacy ones and the original 2011 ones. Every other one is not canon, including the Skybound ones.
I like how they got around some of the Legacy ones where it's like they sort of happen, but half of them are fantasies anyway. So it's all. Just
I think pretty much all. That's that's Tommy always liked to say that they're all interpretations of events, and that's fine. But especially in that, I just think it was a bit lame that they didn't just give us flashbacks.
I'm glad they didn't. No, but I'm glad they didn't change anything, which is good.
They only. I think that
if they replaced the old samurai mech with that, the new small one, I would have been like, what?
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
So,
the newest one was alright. It wasn't bad, but I think
Actually, after rewatching the show, I've actually kind of realized how garbage the old samurai mech did look on the everything.
Yeah.
All the proportions were really like off. I think the set looks a lot better than the actual one does.
Put that in the. I like how in the TV, like in Legacy shorts, they put Samurai X mech. Why it's wanted to be small. So,
okay, and that
that
actually,
idea.
just talking about that just giving me a point. The Hagemans, yeah, they said nothing. They say outside. Okay, so the show, it's not canon. So technically, all right, technically, by their own logic,
Yeah.
those skulls under the Iron Baron's throne could have been any skulls. Still, right?
Yeah.
Can we say that? Can we please? I don't
think they've actually. I don't think they've killed the Ultra Dragon off.
I mean,
if it's confirmed on Twitter,
Hagemans,
it's not real.
No, because that's what they said. But as far as the Hagemans are concerned, that was the Ultra Dragon. I need to go look back at that scene because if there's some way we can like mix their words to make that not a thing, then that would be great. Because that was horrible. Like, and then they do that whole thing for it. And it's like it flies off and it's all happy in the sunset with the first.
It's like then it goes and dies and
dead, murdered under the
round. Like, yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's not cool. That was not cool. Like, I'm all for stuff like that. Really, like it proves for Ninjago it's a bit more gritty. But I just think that was so unnecessary. They abandoned it for all those seasons, all those years, and they're just like, nah, he's dead. He's been dead the whole time. And I made a joke about him, when the ninja abandoned their school. As the stream frozen.
Oh, wait, so we've just been talking for...
No, we're good.
Okay,
Someone, he just left, I think. He's back, okay.
Sorry about that, my mom called me.
After they abandoned their school, No, I haven't Psychic Blast. I have not seen that, but I've seen some posts throughout the years about that, and I think it is the most stupid thing ever, and I don't like it.
What is it?
Message boards complaining about
cultural appropriation.
What was I saying? I was saying something about the dragons, weren't I?
Yeah.
I've forgotten already.
I was talking about the Legacy short, how the Ultra Dragon was different.
I don't remember what my point was. I think it's fine. Okay. All right, that was okay. We're almost done with the bag, I think.
Yeah, I think it was the Hagmans.
Yeah. I don't remember anymore.
I've got a habit of just losing track of even things I'm saying myself.
Yeah,
I've forgotten. Same. I have no idea what I was just talking about. So.
Someone on the stream, tell us what we're talking about. Someone go back and watch. If I know, I'll subscribe to you if you find out what we're talking about.
Yeah, same.
You'll have one loyal subscriber, one more loyal subscriber, I should say.
Because I forgot what I was talking about too. Because my mom called me in front.
I really don't want to go into that, says Paul. Those fools are closed-minded, and I'm going to be closed-minded for once and not interested.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, it's the cultural appropriation thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't. That's what I got distracted on.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't it weird though? In the Ninjago movie, shouldn't it be like the 4 original ninjas, not like Nia and Lloyd?
Nah, because it's a spin-off, and they just decided to throw them all in.
Okay.
It's just something that exists, and it's good. Yeah. I think, but. Yeah. It's not.
I genuinely think all of the voice act, all the voice actors in the Ninjago movie were actually pretty good. Apart from Dave Franco and who is it who voiced Nia? Like they just played themselves. They played the actors. If you've ever seen the actors,
no, I don't know.
Dave Franco was Lloyd, and
I didn't mind him. I thought it worked. But
they just played themselves. The actors just played themselves, and it was a bit odd.
Nia was weird.
In the video game, though.
Hey, boys!
Oh, the video game. I was about to say that. The video game's voice acting is awful.
Yeah.
It is so bad. And you can't skip the scenes. You can't skip them. You can't skip over their dialogue. They redubbed the entire movie, every little bit, and added more, and you can't skip it.
I think the most idiotic thing though is, has anyone the bonus episodes they did for, although I don't mind Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, getting the voice actors to come back and say their own jokes really was not a good idea. Like, if anyone, there's like a bit where they're talking about Wookiee cookies, and it's like, no. As much as I like this game, and the game itself was fun and kind of well made, they shouldn't start like adding new voice.
Oh yeah, Force Awakens was actually a decent game. This is my problem, is that I forgot about it. I actually played that one. But I haven't bought a Lego game since Marvel Superheroes, the first one. And I thought that was a brilliant improvement over the Batman 2, and I was really excited for that one. Then I stopped buying them because they got so expensive. And I was hoping that there'd be some major improvements. Like over the years, I mean, you had like the original 3 Star Wars ones, which was the last one was just a compilation, but and then they did the Clone Wars, which was just, they tried out new features. It was wonderful. The Clone Wars is a really good game, pretty underrated actually. The Clone Wars one,
I think that was okay. I think all the Lego Star Wars games are pretty solid. Like all of them have come together really well. But I just think
the thing with the Clone Wars one is that it tried like new. It wasn't stagnated. It wasn't, you had the space battle. There was a lot of good stuff that they did new. Then they did the superheroes one where they made those open world cities, and that was really fun. And then Marvel, they perfected it, added people in. It was all, it was great. And then I come back. What is it? 6 years later. Is that math? That's math, right? Almost 6 years later, to find that literally nothing. They've gone back with the Ninjago movie one. They went back. The graphics were awful. The voice acting was even worse. There's just so much wrong with that movie. That game.
I'm not gonna lie though, the Lego Ninjago movie, the only part I did like though was the arena battles. Like you get to battle
That was fun. But the combat is so frustrating and uncontrollable that it kind of just makes it all, worthless. Yeah. Although I did enjoy mashing the buttons for like 5 minutes to try and get the highest score. I was going to stream like a whole bunch of that game, and I streamed it the first time. I was just so bored. That's why I did complete it, but it was.
You could play Lego Ninjago Shadow of Ronin. Or watch my playthrough.
That game's good.
Yeah. It's
I couldn't stream that though.
Ronin in that is well. I mean, if you get it for the mobile, you can get AZ Screen Recorder and you can record on that. But I don't know how you do live streams with that. But Ronin in that game was better than he is in the show.
I think
that's actually really surprising.
I actually forgot about the video games. I'm gonna have to make a video. I'm gonna have to think about those when I do, because there's so much obscure stuff. Back in the old days, I mean, they had those little comics that were not canon. There was the stuff on the website that wasn't canon. There was I mean, over the years they've gotten so many things, and like Tommy and Jason like some of it. Like he likes the Phantom Ninja because he put her in the Where Do the Party. I mean, Where Do the Party isn't canon, but then what I'm gonna do basically, the video idea is I'll cover what's canon and what's not canon officially, and then I'll try and craft some optimal timeline where things could happen.
I think the biggest injustice with Shadow of Ronin though is it doesn't actually contradict anything.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It adds more.
It does. The only thing it does is that the final villain thing, and also Ronin attacking them like that kind of makes it a bit hard to believe they'd be so buddy with him.
Yeah,
I think the official version of that, like if we were to get a flashback to that point in time, that's what I was doing. Okay, thank you, Mahan. Thank you. The power of rewinding the video is strong in you.
All right, I have to subscribe to Mahan now. Where are you? Come on. Open a new tab.
And
Mahan, you just got yourself subscribed.
Shadow of Ronin. Okay, I'm not going to forget that one. I think in the official timeline, like the way that I think Shadow of Ronin could just be seen as an interpretation of what canonically happened. But the problem with it is that it answers. This is the problem. It's not in the show, so we can't tell that for sure. And when asked about it, it's not even like they were too interested in it. The thing about Ronin taking Zane, they kind of apprehensively were like, "Yeah, sure," but they didn't. Tommy didn't seem too infused with that idea for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe he had another thought. We never got an explanation for that, so I always took that as canon, but it's not. I think the problem with Shadow of Ronin is that I think something like that did happen, and that's what they were trying to reference, but it's not that. It probably wasn't that.
Like, the only part I felt like they shouldn't have done is, like, after the final battle, after the ending of the final battle, Kai said, "Who's telling the story, me or you?"
Oh! Okay, that kind of does patch up a few holes then, doesn't it? Because like it's a second-hand retelling anyway.
Then maybe that's why they're saying it's non-canon.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just thought that it was really interesting that you had a villain that was just entirely motivated by greed, and he full on like used these really full on ancient arcane powers just because he wanted to get money from the guy who hired him.
Yeah.
Like I've got a feeling if Chen was brought back in that game, Ronin would have just been like, all right, okay, you I've pretty much taken over your entire empire now. Hold it all at ransom and gets everything back. I don't know. It's just quite an interesting premise for a game, and the fact that in this game he had an entire army. He had like a load of these thugs, and he did like he had all these power. He got all these powers and stuff like that. And then in the show, he's just some guy who's just in a.
Although to be fair, he did in the show. He did
like a City and Blades.
I mean, he's still good in the show, and I think he has great moments in the show. But I just feel like Shadow of Ronin, just if it was canon, it would just make his character so much more interesting. And
I think the writers worked within like Shadow of Ronin as a reference because he was very money centric in the show as well.
Yeah,
and it was revealed because it was Soul Archer that kind of forced him down that road. But then that kind of like, like he's so selfish, he just wants to stop himself being cursed.
Yeah.
But
well, that was the bit that got me a little bit. I liked it better when he was purely just motivated by like personal greed. It wasn't like
but it still was. But like it explains why, because no one's that greedy. No one's that. No. It's a bit unbelievable if you just have a character.
Yeah, but I like that though. That was why his character.
I know, but there is But it doesn't. The Soul Archer thing doesn't really change anything. It just makes it more selfish. He makes it more selfish. He's not just in it for the money. I
remember when I had my big theory that in that scene with Harumi's parents, that Ronin was actually her dad, just because he had the hat and he had the small mustache and beard, and the reason why he was trying to pay the Soul Archer off is that he assumed that he wanted his life back or something like that when he died, and that was the debt he had to pay the Soul Archer, and he wanted to go and see his daughter again, but then his daughter died, and that didn't happen, so I was very sad.
Okay,
and then Ronin did nothing in season 9, so I was like, rip. Nope. No more theory.
He got captured. That's what he did.
Ah, yes.
Okay, back to Ultra
Thief.
Dragon. Leaving the school, yes. The ninja abandoned their school, right? Just that doesn't exist anymore. And they leave the dragon there for 2014. We don't see it again until we get a reference to it on by the Hagemans, but canonically not until this year. So that is 5 years of nothing. Absolutely nothing. And so I always joked that it just died, starved to death there. Then we find out, okay, it did actually die. It died. It from the Hagemans, I was somewhat right. It did die.
Wait, what happened?
The Ultra Dragon died.
For a long, long time. I just was joking. I was joking that, I mean, it's a bit up in air because they didn't say it in the episode, but the Hagemans, it's like secondary source canon. It's kind of there. It's kind of probably what we should be assuming happened. But
I think the worst part is that the show hasn't even acknowledged it's died.
No.
Yeah.
So but in the same sense, that could mean that it isn't dead and they're leaving it open. But at this point, when are they going to go back to the first realm? And if it was alive, it would have shown up by now, I think.
Yeah. Like, they never said, like, who killed it.
Yeah. Also, since the first realm's been trashed now, is everybody just like, is Firstborn just going to stay in?
Oh, you know what they should have done? Like, you remember those other dragons they were using?
Yeah. What happened to those dragons?
Oh, they're still in the first realm.
Oh, did they go back to the first realm when they were done with them?
Yeah.
Ah.
They did. I feel like the ninjas should have kept those dragons, in my opinion.
Yeah. Except Cole had a tiny one. Again. Yeah. He has a really small mech in that in all of those, and he has a really small dragon.
Chima crossover.
He's undercompensating.
Oh yeah, someone made a video about that, like saying like for season 11, ninjas and Chima are probably going to cross over.
They are. Well, Tommy has said that on Twitter. But the thing about this is that if you follow me on Twitter, I think and have in the past, and I definitely will still hold this. Chima at the time of its airing was better than Ninjago.
Gee, yeah, I sure do look forward to watching furries. No, I don't mind. I didn't mind it. I just never really got into the show.
At the time, through it was airing, it stopped before tournament started. So 2013, Final Battle, and rebooted. As much as I love rebooted, Chima in 2014 was better than it. Okay, the Hunters, the Crawlers, they were really, really good. And
I just think Krager wasn't intimidating at all as a villain.
No, he wasn't.
I mean, Scorn. I love Scorn.
Garmadon had so much more intimidation value.
Oh, but like, I mean, he was never. He was clearly never the the true villain though. He was just
What about
like
Cruella?
he was
Oh,
manipulated.
hey, brother, I'm gonna seduce you with this flower.
But it was quite.
I'm a crocodile. Yeah,
But it
but I
was
get what
quite
you mean.
different. They weren't
Yeah.
just villains for evilness.
Yeah.
And it's the best way they could have handled a story like that in a world like that. There wasn't some evil dark overlord threatening the balance again. It was
Yeah,
like it
I
was
feel
a
like I
little.
have. I think the problem with me is that I've misjudged Chima because I never fully watched it. I watched a lot of it, but I never really, I never sat down and legit
Yeah.
watched the whole
You
thing.
just
So I
kinda,
don't
like,
think I
you
don't think I'm a
took
good
it
enough
in.
critic of it. I mean, I feel like I have to see something 2 or 3 times before I can say, "Yep, I firmly believe this."
Mm.
Just because I'm a bit of a.
I did like the how Sir Fengar. I did like him.
What was that?
I was saying that I like how in Chima, I like how the villain Sir Fengar. I like his origin story. That was my favorite.
Oh, which one was that? Was that the
A fire
The
and
ice
ice
one.
battle.
the fire and ice one? Yeah.
He was the
Oh,
best villain they had.
Yeah.
what was his big?
Okay, so they were ancient. Okay, basically the big theme of Chima and the reason why the two best villains were introduced, Scorn and who was this Scorpion, was
Yeah.
because of the main character's mistake of deciding that instead of dealing with the consequences himself, it was this whole thematic thing of him just throwing his troubles away down the eternal gorge apparently, and the Chi ends up creating these tribes that just have a little bit of it because obviously they evolved because of it, but they don't have any more. And then they realize and basically what happened was at the beginning of Chima, Graga's parents fell into the gorge, and that was the whole thing. That's why a lot of the war started because Graga blamed Laval for that. And then when he threw Chi down there, suddenly they were being attacked by and captured by these new tribes, and they end up going to the surface, explaining what Chi is, and that starts the plot. And eventually that ticks over to the end of the finale for that point in time, and Scorm's beaten but like left in the caves, and they're kind of like shut in, and he ends up doing the same thing and just throws it even further down, and it just so happens to land right into this really far down gorge, like this really like this frozen cavern where millions of years ago, or thousands, or however long it was, they inhabited the surface, and they ended up, and this one guy, Sir Fangar, rose up against the Phoenixes at the time, which were the rulers of the land, right? They were like the ones with the most wisdom, or they were immortal, so they lived, they had all the knowledge, and so they end up
Sir Fengar.
yeah, and so he's awoken because of the chi, and that's why they look like zombies because they've been rotting in the ice for so long, and so that all turns out to.
Wait, what was that?
Hello.
Oh, he's muted right now.
Oh, rip.
During for Laval though, I felt like this though. Oh
sorry.
yeah, sorry. You go.
So the whole thing was technically, and then the Fangar climbs out and attacks Chima again, and so technically the whole thing was Laval's fault. All the villainy was all his fault, and by the end he learns that lesson.
It was basically by his accident.
Because he kept throwing away his responsibility, basically.
Yeah. Basically, they never explained whatever happened to Laval's mom.
No, they never really introduced that, though. It was never like a thing just one of those things that they kind of just brushed over.
Yeah.
We didn't see any female lions until Layla, so that was...
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
That was very weird.
Yeah.
I mean, female lions can have manes. It's just very rare.
Whatever happens in Ninjago games these days now, the Enter the Tournament. I used to play that game on my iPad. It was so fun. But why they got rid of it? That's the question I always asked.
Chima's ending. Well, they panned out. Well, that was to give more chance for more stuff if Chima continued. I don't think it means anything now, but I do think that if they ever did do a crossover, they may give like a slight, like Tommy might push for a slight like mention of that.
Do you remember when everybody thought Nectonites was going to be steampunk and people were really excited for it, and then it just turned out to be high tech Knight's Kingdom.
I'm so glad that isn't canon to the Ninjago universe.
Well,
But
people were saying that was.
I really like. I would really like a steampunk show, especially since they got really close with Skybound for Ninjago.
Oh wait, there is one. There is one Lego theme called Lego Hidden.
Yeah, though I don't think that's steampunk. That's more like a horror sort of thing. Yeah. But like with Skybound, they got really close to with the airships and stuff like that. I really like that. Well, actually, no, I think it started with the Ronin Rex, Ronin's ship from Possession.
Yeah.
That had like a really sort of steampunky look to it, and I was like, yeah, I really like this. It's got kind of like a bit of and then so I was like, I could get behind that. And then when they did the ones for Skybound, I was like, oh, this is insane. We've got like sky pirates and ships like that. And then it didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
I thought this would be a great time to have a separate show now with sky pirates or like some sort of steampunk sort of show.
The thing is,
but it never really happened.
Ninjago always had those elements. I don't know, I wouldn't call it steampunk, but one thing I always liked about Ninjago's tech and the fact that they respected this for a long time was that, like the samurai mech, you'd imagine a samurai to have wanted to build that. It's like tech being introduced to feudal Japan, but not. That was always the aesthetic they went for. It was always more. They always were aware of the time period they were trying to make, but they wanted to make it, not exactly that time period.
Yeah, like
I'm going to stop off this bag, I think.
Oh, okay. For Nexo though, I would have to say like the show is okay during season 1 and season 2. Like it was kind of getting bad, but when you watch season 3, season 4, it gets good.
No, this is going to sound. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. But the only thing I feel like that was a bad part is that they kept on using the same monsters over and over again.
Yeah. Okay, just got a question. Would I like to have seen a clip of the Oni taking over Chima? Yes, this is going to sound really morbid, but if any of the realms had been shown and any crossover would have been done, I would have liked to have just seen the Oni show up and just wreck everyone. And I like Chima, but like I would love to have seen that.
Yeah, just be like kabam, suckers, kabam.
Yeah, pretty much. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I have this game right here.
I think any realm would have done better than the one that they chose with the first realm. Like out of any realm to do that with, the first realm was just a bad idea. That was just where they just show up and suddenly take it over. I just think that was really, it was just like, why? What was the point of hyping up the dragons versus the Oni if they're never actually going to fight properly, like evenly? Like you imagined, and they're not explaining.
Imagine
why
if Firstborn just mauled Omega.
I feel like I'm surprised there was no exchange between the two of them.
Yeah,
like they didn't even like the first one didn't even take fight. Didn't actually join the fight at the end. It just kind of like didn't happen. Like it wasn't there at all, was it?
Like I mean, the dragons are very large than the original dragons that they used to have.
I think actually thinking about it, that would have rectified the issue where it's just so unbelievable that the ninjas suddenly start defeating the Oni so handily. If you had the Firstborn fly in and take out a load of them to start with, or taking out a load of them, that would have kind of solved that issue.
Also, it would have been interesting if they actually did for the new
dragons.
For the legacy sets.
Yeah.
If they had what's the name? If they gave Cole's dragon wings, because the original set didn't have any wings, which is really funny.
Yeah.
I think I've given mine wings. This was quite a while ago, but
there were also rumors that for the legacy sets that the fire temple, it was supposed to be
that was before they realized it was the monastery.
Yeah, I actually am kind of glad that they didn't do the fire temple.
Yeah, that would have been not at that price point anyway.
Yeah, like the monastery is it seems better than the fire temple, honestly.
I'm glad we got a proper monastery. I would have preferred that over another fire temple. Overall, the fire temple is pretty inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, and I don't want to get hate for saying that, but it kind of is. It just kind of the place that they used to store the fire sword originally.
I remember when they made such a big thing out of the fire temple set that came out. Like, we're gonna take the dragon sword of fire just because they made a new mold for the sword of fire. So everybody was like,
I'm also like, That's the only thing I didn't really like though. How they like used a golden sword instead of like a dragon sword. That dragon
They
sword of
did, didn't they?
fire.
That was so weird. Like, I
Yeah,
always got really confused. I was like, and I never really knew which one was which because they hyped up the dragon's sword and they were like, this one random, literally this right here is the golden sword of fire. This.
yeah. I'm like, no, just no. Let it be the other
Why did
sword
you
of
make the
fire.
mold for that if you're just going to end up
Yeah.
calling that one the
Yeah.
Well,
And then they just
make
use it
this
every
the
other
sword of
part.
fire.
I always find it
Yeah.
really funny that Ronin Rex uses 2 swords of fires for the.
Yeah, and then they ended up like then
It's in every set, like
Golden
almost.
Lloyd had it. Yeah, then they just used it to turn some random piece. It's like, oh,
See,
I mean, it
like
looks a
that's
nice piece. But
it is,
yeah.
but it was
It
specific
is.
for one thing.
I'm very
Nobody-
surprised
Yeah.
they not use that piece for Genji's sword. For
Yeah,
the
that would have been
Overwatch set.
Yeah.
done that in green, but I'd never lost the mold by now. I think they
No,
would
but
have.
in the Overwatch one, they just used the regular green katana.
Yeah, the same thing there, isn't it?
Imagine
Well, it's
dual
cool to
molding.
get that in
Imagine
green.
dual molding now with
Yeah.
the green blade and the white. Oh, that would be perfect.
See, the
Yeah,
only thing
actually.
I have problems with is like those new red swords
Yeah.
for for SOG. People are
Yeah.
using that for like Kai sometimes, which
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
really
kind
have
of
a problem with. Because
Mm.
like people are using that because like it was like his color scheme kind of. So
Yeah.
that's why people are kind of using it. I was like, okay, it's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, I think he had it in I think in Shadow of Ronin
Shadow
as well, he had a
Ronin,
red
yeah, he
sword,
had it.
as well, which was really funny
Yeah,
because all the other ninja in that show had had their weapons were grey in it.
yeah.
Mm.
You know what's also weird though? In Skybound, all their weapons were like golden swords too.
Oh, what have I done? Oh, there. Okay. Forgot to
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
I also forgot to mention this is a game that I actually really like too. This game.
Wait, which one?
Oh.
Sorry, right, I need to check
Yeah,
it. Something else. Transformers.
Fallout
Okay, sorry.
Cybertron.
All right, very nice. Yeah, I've never got around. Unfortunately, I'm not actually that big of a Transformers fan. I've never really got into it as much, but I can imagine it's pretty good.
Like,
I mean,
so basically, like
I've only
the
seen
new
the
movie.
films, and I know apparently the films aren't too great compared to the shows. So,
Like, there's one good show called Transformers Prime. That show was pretty good.
hey, it's pretty good.
Yeah. But now they're like, so like, have you guys ever heard like the Bumblebee movie?
The what?
The Bumblebee movie.
The Bone Me movie. What? Sorry, I don't know what.
Uh,
I don't think I've heard of that. Sorry.
oh, it's fine. So basically, like, this new movie called Bumblebee.
Oh,
It's basically
Bumblebee.
like,
Oh, Bumblebee.
yeah,
Right. Sorry, you're saying like Bone Bee or something. I was
no,
like, I must have misheard you. Yeah, Bumblebee. Yeah, that did look good. I've not seen it, but
yeah.
I'm hearing it's like the best Transformers
Apparently,
film.
it's not connected to the Bayverse anymore. It's actually a reboot.
Yeah.
So technically now, like, they're not going to the Michael Bays anymore. They're going to like new style now, like the old style of what Transformers should be. So yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of mad now because my Shadow of Ronin set, not Shadow of Ronin, but that Rex set for like the Go season,
Yeah.
Possession, mine broke, so I'm sad.
Oh, God. I'm still in my room upstairs at home, but I
can see mine from where I'm sitting. It's behind the Spinland's cavern, in between the Temple of Fortitude.
Yeah.
Temple of Fortitude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I never got that set.
Which one? Which one's that again? You're gonna have to remind me.
The one that came with the Overlord spider thing.
Oh, all right. Oh, was that the? Oh yeah, I forgot about that because that was in that was season 3.
First.
I always found that really funny that the set was called like Battle for Ninjago City, but it wasn't even.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So do you guys like shoot your like stud shooters when you guys have like the Lego set? Do you guys shoot them out? Because I just like leave them alone.
Never ever. Oh, I see.
Wow, Lost Legends is coming out on digital tomorrow. I swear I only saw the film in cinemas like a couple of months ago. Miscellaneous is coming out for digital download February the 19th.
Oh, wow.
What? I mean, I understand it did
I got
great
sidetracked.
box office, but I mean,
Yeah.
Interesting theory there about Zane. Ever since he's been returned to life, has been the Overlord.
Wait, for real?
No,
that'd be
theory.
That'd be very interesting.
Oh, okay.
It would give him reason to be the villain again, but being a villain like the leaks. But I don't think it is. I don't think Zane is going to be the villain next season.
That Ice Emperor could be really interesting.
I just don't think it's Zane.
I don't think it's Zane either. I feel like it's another like
that was
new
just a
villain.
leaker error, I think.
I do like Ice.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of the Ice theme, so I could say that.
But it's basically Chima season 2 again.
Yeah.
It's just.
Oh yeah. Basically, I want to know what Forbidden Spinjitzu is all about because that's pretty interesting.
That was in the book. There's one book that has that in, but
I
I'm not
have
really sure what it is.
I have
that really?
book. Yeah, it's called The Book of Spinjitzu. Well, I can get it to. I can get it. Hold up. I got it.
I mean, the size of the armor is kind of the least egregious part of what they retcon there. I mean, that's the last thing. But
but he was still human size when he had the armor, right?
No, he was massive. He was huge. His head was like the size of Zane. It was. Really
he did get pretty big at some point. There was there was the part where he was normal size, right?
Yeah, it was. It was during like the beginning of episode 34, but then after that, he like became really huge. In the middle.
It did seem a bit odd that they could get so much gold from like a pretty small.
See, that's what March of the Oni doesn't make any sense though. Is like, how could Kai and Master Wu hold it? Well, Master Wu, I think like he was born out of the Spinjitzu, like he was born out of the first Spinjitzu master. But then again, that doesn't really make any sense because Lloyd and Garmadon shouldn't be holding it either, right?
Yeah, sort of.
Garmadon can hold it. Garmadon can possess it easy. And I think Lloyd can as well because second Spinjitzu master. But
Wu can hold it too. Oh, he can't?
No, because I think Lloyd unlocked the golden power that makes him worthy of holding them. Garmadon forced the power to hold them, and Wu didn't.
Yeah. Kai shouldn't be holding it either, to be honest. They should be all dying.
He should have died quicker than Samukai.
Yeah. And that other ninja that died.
I don't see. This is the thing. Is that I had so much faith in Breggy, and I just want to hope they just didn't know. It's one of the biggest plot elements in Ninjago, though. If he didn't know about it, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you guys? I'm hoping for season 11 though. Like the ninjas use their golden weapons to transform back their vehicles again.
That would be dope if they could do that.
Yeah, but I want to know.
You don't see the Stormfighter in March of the Oni, and since you know how they.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know how they tend to bring vehicles from other other stuff back into the back into the series, how Ronin's mech was in season 7, and the Ultra Stealth Raider was in season 7 as well, which is kind of cool. I've got a feeling some of the legacy vehicles might turn up in there.
Yeah,
the Ultra Stealth Raider was dope.
It
wasn't really used much. It's probably one of the best reimaginings of a normal, because they basically went, okay, right, we're gonna get a normal, the original design for the Ultrasonic Raider, make it really smooth, add more blades to it, and just I
still got to get that set too.
I really need it. Yeah, the problem is that I've got the original Ultrasonic Raider, and I left it in my conservatory when I was younger. So it's now really yellowed. Well, not yellow, not too badly. But apparently, Jangrix has a way to fix it. But in the UK, you can't get hydrogen peroxide very easily. And I can't think of any place I can get it without going in and looking like a serial killer or something. Can I just have a big bottle of hydrogen peroxide?
I have both of them, but the funny thing is, I built the second one before the first one. I still haven't built the first one. I opened it up to get Pythor out, and then didn't build it.
The first one's really cool. The first one is really cool, but
it is. My brother did it, and I think that was the problem. is that he built it and he used to be absolutely awful with keeping his sets intact. So I just before long, I think even the first time I saw it, I didn't see it. He built it. First time I saw it, it was broken. It was just smashed.
Sucks.
Like he'd already just not cared about it.
Yeah.
And like it kind of like put me off it. I
Yeah.
was like, that's fine. I won't build that. I'll just get Python out.
Oh yeah, during so basically I watch like Cooper Ace Productions, like sometimes his videos.
No,
sometimes
unsubscribe. No, I'm kidding.
I'm just kidding. I don't really watch his videos like all the time. I just like watch it like just one video, just one day. Cause like I don't like subscribe to him. But like during like his Rise of Snakes like video, he did like combining like all the ninjas like 4 vehicles that transformed into like their golden weapons. And after that, they kind of combined them all together to like the Ultrasonic Raider. I was like, okay, that made it so weird.
But yeah, it doesn't really do many stealthy things as well. But yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, like he put like Lightning J's on top of Cole's Rock Rotor, then Zane's like vehicle on front of Cole's Rock Rotor, then Kai's vehicle on the back of Cole's Rock Rotor. So I was like, that's weird. Why do that? See, it doesn't make any sense anymore.
The biggest crime is that in the Day of the Departed show, for some reason, Cole wasn't in the center of the stealth radio like he was in the set.
Yeah.
That's very sad about that.
Like, I feel like they should have just put Lloyd and Nia there instead of like Zane. Not Zane, but yeah, Zane and
Was
Cole.
Lloyd in the middle or was it Zane? Actually, I think because Zane was using the tumbler. Actually, wait, I've just realised Cole was using the Rock Road, wasn't he? So I suppose that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Also, like Lil Nelson was in the set, but it just wasn't in the show.
That got me so mad too because I thought Lil Nelson was going to be appearing in March of the. I thought he was going to be in March of the Oni too. That's what people are like. Lil Nelson. I was like, I hope so. No, it was just Borg, like a random guard telling Borg to go. They got me so sad too.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't really like Ninjago ships. Like the only Ninjago ships I worship is probably like Jaya, Kyler, and Zane and Pixel.
Was that intentional? Worship.
Yeah. Basically, I don't really like how people like do the in Ninjago movie. Like people are like Lloyd and Nia together. I was like, I don't like them in the show together. Maybe the movie, but the show I wouldn't really prefer at the show at all.
Right? Yeah. Oh, sorry, no, I wasn't saying what's here. I just saw something on.
Okay.
Yeah. That seemed like really odd.
Yeah. What do you think about him?
Sorry. Say that again. I missed. What were you?
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. No, sorry. I just checked something online. What were you talking about again?
So, like, you know how people like Lloyd and Nia together in like a Ninjago movie?
Yeah. I don't agree with that just because I feel like it's like I think the Jay and Nia thing's been a thing for way longer.
Well, sometimes people want them to be like in the show together. I feel like it should not be them together. I feel like they should just be friends. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm reading Forbidden Spinjitzu right now. It's actually kind of interesting.
Right, yeah. It's quite a lot of stuff that I still want like lore for, but I don't know. I'm happy to wait a bit.
Yeah. But
the lore is a lie. It is only interpretation. There'll never be any true Ninjago lore. It's all there.
Wait, can I read it in the live stream?
Sure.
Okay. So it says here right now, it says, one day we were borrowing Father's library, hoping to find a cookbook to replace Father's usual canned noodles. When Garmadon pulled out a book called The Art of Broth, a scroll of black paper fell from its pages. He picked it up and said it felt hot. He wanted to read it, I sense we should not. Garmadon started to unroll the scroll. When Father raced and snatched it, he told us never to touch the scroll of forbidden Spinjitzu. Then he ordered us to. The next day, Garmadon returned to the library. He said the scroll was calling him. I should have told Father, but instead I followed my brother. The scroll wasn't there, much to Garmadon's frustration and my relief. Jeez. Oh wait, it's not finished yet. Sometimes I wake up at night and find Garmadon is missing from the bed next to my eye image. He is looking for the scroll. I cannot imagine the dark secrets it contains. A long forgotten phase that will turn the sun cold, a chant that will raise the spirits of the departed, a great tea recipe, I don't know anymore. As I suspected, Garmadon was still looking for the scroll, and he eventually found it. We couldn't believe what was inside it. Here are the dark secrets it revealed. It doesn't show it. That's the weird part too.
Spinjitzu? What is that? I've never heard that before.
It's like in the book. It's called Forbidden Spinjitzu.
In the chat, they're talking about Merjitsu or something.
It was like a fake thing. Like they showed like not Forbidden Spinjitzu, but Merjitsu. I was like, that's fake. It started after like possession.
Ah.
Yeah, it's still fake till this day. Which I don't really want it to be in the show. Because like basically it's like underwater like ninjas.
I mean, you saying that about Wu, reading that extract. Now we've seen the first Spinjitzu Master. It's like, well, he obviously doesn't really care that much.
Yeah. Like he brought all the darkness and we never know. Like when he was talking about that Forbidden Spinjitzu, it's weird. Like he said, don't open that. I was like, why not? I was thinking it was gonna be like a good lesson too, honestly. Okay, I'm back.
Hey.
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 B.
Mm-hmm.
I've been
Oh,
distant.
wait.
I've been just doing something else recently, but I'm back now. Here I am.
I'm also back.
That's good. No one's front though,
Yeah.
unfortunately. My jokes
Oh,
are
wait,
falling on deaf ears.
Wait, did you guys already read what
Can we
Jack
get
said?
an epic laughter in the chat? Can we get some laughter for my jokes? Oh, I got one. What do you call a hound who can't pay a pound?
What?
Poor.
Oh, no.
I'm funny, I know. I should do
Sorry.
stand up.
Yeah.
I'm roaring. I'm laughing. I'm on the floor.
You're rolling on the floor, waffle the mouth.
Oh wait, have you guys ever heard this show called what's the show called? Have you guys ever heard this show called Gotham?
Yeah.
Apparently, this season finale is only going to have 7 episodes of like 7 episodes. So that means the show can.
Oh no.
I think you cut out.
Wait, I did.
Yeah, sorry, your mic must have cut.
Yeah. Basically, what I was saying is that Gotham is basically only going to have for like season 5. It's basically going to have like 7 episodes, and unfortunately, it's going to be the last season of it, so it's going to end soon.
Is it that they can't use any Batman characters? Because I'm seeing a load of like they're creating like new characters. Well, they're doing like characters, but they can't call them the Joker. They can't call them Bane. They can't call them certain things.
Well, they're having like
So,
they
yeah.
put Bane in it, but like this Joker called Jeremiah, I don't think he's like the real Joker because we don't really know who's the Joker's identity is, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because like this Joker, he's like serious. He doesn't like laugh a lot. He's just like ha ha ha, kabam.
Indeed.
Mhm.
That is the best onomatopoeia.
Yeah. Honestly, can we like get a new Scythe Quakes like a real like Scythe Quakes toy? Because like
Yes,
the
please.
ones that I have right now, like you guys know the energy. Have you guys ever heard this like spinners, like the old spinner called Energy Coal?
Yeah, NRG, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
I remember like I had his Scythe Quakes.
It has it in there.
His Scythe
Where's
Quakes was
mine?
actually
Sorry.
perfect.
Yeah,
In
that was the
one?
best. That was the best side because it had a full length. It actually had a long enough, like
Yeah.
I disagree.
bit, and then with the blade at the end.
I've used it in this video, and it's not. The original one was way better.
Like
The original
this one?
The original one didn't look
This
like the
one?
one in the show, though. The original just was a bit. Yeah.
No,
Was this it?
but it was the closest we got.
Yeah. I don't really like
I mean,
the.
you could just stick.
Yeah.
I think the NRG Cole one is the definitive Cypher Quakes. Maybe the new one is sort of good, but it's
not accurate
the
at
body
all.
isn't the hilt isn't like still a bit thin. No,
still
a bit short.
If you stick the hilt on the old one, though, it would look amazing. The bottom.
If you stick that, why'd you not like the blade?
There was a special piece created for the old one, and that one was just one of the ninja's dagger things that wasn't very special. I don't really understand why people like that one so much.
Honestly, though, for Legacy nunchucks of lightning, I like it and all. I feel like the nunchucks, like they should give it like lightning effects.
Is it just another golden chain?
Yeah. Like they could have give it some little effects with it, like lightning.
They could have made a new piece for it, but no.
Yeah. Like if you go on Instagram, if you do Dan's like Instagram.
Yeah, he made one. He used the Chima arm for that.
Yeah, I actually like it, and the Scythe Quakes too. Like they look so much accurate.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
we're done. Oh, I'm a fool. Okay, hold on. We can fix this.
Oh, what is it?
I hate doing technic stuff. I always end up putting the pins in the wrong one.
Same. I did that to that set too. Like I have it too. And I accidentally like did it the wrong way too. Honestly though,
yeah.
I don't really like Pixel as the Samurai X. Really?
Nah, that was it was even worse the way they revealed it. Like they hyped it up so much in Hands of Time, and I just think you can tell so much that not only the movie happened in between, but there were different writers. Like Hands of Time, it just feels like someone cut a massive there were two different versions of Ninjago, starting and ending in different places with similar features, and they just cut at the end of Hands of Time and slapped on this other timeline. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, because like in Hands of Time though, I thought it was actually Skylar.
Yeah, I thought it could have been a lot of people, but I thought it was Ronin. I really did want it to be Ronin or a new character, but like everyone, I knew it.
You mean Samurai X? Like I guaranteed it. Are you saying who you thought Samurai X was?
I wanted it to be Ronin.
Nah, it was like
it was so
almost
obvious
as soon as I saw that they had a robot face underneath Pixel.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then they disappeared like the most convenient thing. Like, oh yeah, Pixel is
Pixel.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying I wanted it to be Ronin.
Yeah, it would have been really good if it was like Ronin or Skylar.
Because he would have been made relevant again.
Yeah.
Pixel was fine. She was in a position where she was in the narrative. There was no reason to do that for her. She wasn't in danger of being replaced or written out.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I like Pixel, but I just don't like her as Samurai X. That's the thing. Like the mech for her with Kilo versus Kilo, I just don't like the mech that much.
That's fair enough. I like it. I like it a lot. But
yeah,
but I can see why people don't.
I just don't like the legs.
I like that it
honestly.
A lot of Lego mechs are really bad for legs, though.
Yeah, like
I love that it can ride on the bike.
Yeah, same. I just don't like how the Samurai X mech though. I just don't like how it
Janked? What?
I don't like how the legs don't work on there really that well. Like they don't really
No, I haven't
walk
been reading the
that
comics
much.
because I've been trying to focus on this because otherwise I'll be here for another 25 hours, please.
Oh, okay.
And that doesn't sound like fun. But I was
Yeah.
focusing on something then.
Mm.
Master Chef. Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
Master Chef, leave me a comment. I'll answer. I'll be on comment duty for a bit.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's hard to focus and do this at the same time.
Mm. Honestly, though, I thought for Possession, I thought we were going to get a T-Shop set.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That would have been interesting, yeah.
Yeah, Winds of Change was a pretty good episode.
Do you remember when the leaks were leaks that the Temple of Jitsu set was going to be a Chen's Island castle set?
Oh yeah, I heard. That was pretty cool.
Remember when
That
everybody
was-
thought that the Preeminent would be in that set? Like, I couldn't imagine why. I can't imagine how.
Oh, I do remember
Yeah.
that, yeah.
People were
I
like,
think-
oh yeah, the Preeminent must be in that set.
I can't
Yeah.
remember the reveal for that. I can't remember what I was thinking. I mean,
The biggest thing
I knew.
is the Preeminent isn't in the set in any
I
of the
thought no.
Possession sets.
I ended up again going back to my season because I got to kind of hype it up before my last one. But
Oh,
I
someone's
ended up
slagging you off
using-
in the comments. I feel
Like
like
who?
most stop motion creators are either uncreative or copy DT.
Who said that?
That's
Where is
fighting
it?
talk.
Ah,
TA Zack Studios. That's fighting
yeah.
talk.
I mean, okay. I mean, the thing with this is that you got to understand that Ninjago stop motion is very different to the rest of a lot of it for a couple of reasons. One, we're very isolated, and the other reason is that it's usually just very much just for fun. And they see people doing it, they see they can do it too, and so they do it. And I think that them having their fun, them making their series, other people wanting to watch it, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if I wanted to, I could have made some cookie cutter, really bad Ninjago series. I personally think that was what my original one was. It was in 2015. I'd done Chima originally, and then it was really bad, but I was having fun with it. And no one else was. That was at a time before a lot of them started coming down, and it was before the Ninjago ones really started. The only one around that time was John's, and then 2015 started, and I was like, I got the sets first. So I was like, I can make some stuff with this, and I started making some battles, and then it turned into a season, and then I was like, okay, well then I'll do a movie, and I ended up, and then that was when I was like, okay, I kind of want to change up my stuff. I want to make it a bit different to the show, and so I decided to not bother with making the Preeminent anything like the shows, and I used that dragon in the Destiny's Bounty, and I still think it's a good dragon. I still think that dragon is worthy of being a Preeminent or whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, my thing wasn't working.
I still think that dragon, and I don't regret doing that because it's a good dragon.
Wait, what dragon?
The Wyvern from the Destiny's Bounty set.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that dragon.
I used that for the Preeminent, and
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And then ever since then, I've just kind of like Then after that point, I didn't. The next thing that happened was in 2016, and then the Day of the Departed one that ended early last year, about a year ago now.
Yeah,
And I've got one final season coming up that is going to be. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, and it's completely different. So basically, you're not. I want to say it's Hands of Time combined with Sons of Garmadon combined with a very minimal amount of the rest of the recent stuff, but it's not really. It just kind of takes their characters.
Isn't Hands of Time like combined into like the SOG and them?
What I'm doing, or someone else.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was asking. It's like Hands of Time. Isn't it like combined with SOG, Hunted, and like
In my thing or someone else's?
Okay.
Okay. No. Who are you asking for? What are you asking in what? In the show or in?
In the show. I mean.
No, it's not. There's a big
it isn't.
gap in between that doesn't make much sense, and that's why it's so weird when you look at it because it's like, Wu is just suddenly he's just suddenly a baby again, and that's like one of the few things that they kept over from it. But the rest of it, like the Time Twins don't show up again, the Vermilion are just gone.
I'm confused why Wu got really old in season 7, and then he became a baby again, and rapidly aged to the point where he was old again.
Oh yeah.
They should have kept him young.
Just going to get really old really quickly and then die.
I really liked.
That's really sad.
I
Like
like
imagine,
Young
oh yeah,
Woo.
just go reborn as a baby again, and then just go back to.
I kind of would
Honestly,
prefer.
I like Young Woo.
I would have liked it if he stayed young.
Just yeah, it would have been cool.
Yeah.
Not completely like well, not young. He would have maybe been middle aged, and he still had the mustache and all that, and he was
Yeah.
just slightly younger.
Yeah.
But they'd have to give him a reason for
Future
that.
for them.
Like at least with when they put him back to normal age, it was like okay,
Yeah.
well we've had our fun with that, but that's the default he has for whatever reason. Okay, with that, the age apparently Tommy has said, and the way why another thing that was contradicted in the Dark Island trilogy is that for the longest time I always assumed that Garmadon and Wu were centuries old, and that they were really really old, and that the underworld he was in the underworld for ages. Then we kind of figured out, wait, no, he wasn't in the underworld for that long, and then we realized that with the Serpentine War that they were quite young when that happened, and it hasn't been that long, and so the aging doesn't make sense. And Tommy was like, their aging is linked to the golden weapons. So if there is any problem with the aging, the golden weapons are all basically in Tommy's. The way Tommy said to think about it is if there's ever anything problem with Wu Garmadon's ages, the golden weapons are to blame. So take that how you will. That's the official way to judge Ninjago's timeline with Wu and Garmadon.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm back.
Give you the things.
Man, my friend just called me. Like I gave him my phone number, and I was like, "Who's calling me now?" And after that, it was like my friend. I didn't even know him. I was like, "Oh wait, this is my friend." That was amazing. Did you guys hear about Punisher on Netflix being canceled after 2019?
Oh, that's kind of weird. Sadly, I've never actually had I've never watched many of the Netflix shows, but I can imagine for people who are big fans of them, that must be pretty disappointing.
Honestly, what's
I mean,
going on
everything
with
cancelled.
Netflix? What's going on with Netflix? I know they added like season 9 to Ninjago and stuff.
Is it that just Netflix eventually they have something on for a certain amount of time and then they put it off?
Yeah, like
Right. Depends on
I s-
profit.
yeah,
They excreted 6 seasons out of that Dragon's Race to the Edge that was just so much worse than even the TV shows. The first 2 movies, don't spoil the third one for me, I'm going to see it soon.
I've not
Yeah,
seen the
me
third one
too.
yet.
But and anyone that could just don't please. But and they did a TV show. I watched that. I remember watching that. It was interesting.
Was it good?
It was all right. It wasn't as good as the movies, obviously, but it was all right. And then this
Mm.
Netflix show comes out, and it is trash. It is so bad, and it's somehow
Wait, what is it?
Race to the Edge still on there. Dragon's
Oh,
Race
I
to
heard
the
about
Edge,
it.
right?
I heard
It
about it.
is awful. I watched. We did it. I watched it every season when they came out. We binged it, and it's just like every season it got worse and worse. And there was one season where they kind of like introduced a villain that was somewhat interesting, and then they completely butchered him. I don't want to. If you ever watch it, which I don't
Yeah.
recommend, you'll see what I mean. It's very hard to explain. They take the villain and the idea, and then they kind of just decide they don't like doing that anymore, and then they change it. And then it turns out there's been this trader. Okay, I'm going to give you a massive spoiler for the TV show, the Netflix show, because it's not worth watching. Right?
Mhm.
Okay. There's this comic relief boat trading person, right? It shows up in a couple episodes throughout the first season, second season, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Turns out he's the main villain, and he's behind everything that's ever happened in the show.
Oh, that's bull crap.
And what is even worse is that he took a 180 from acting like himself into turning out that he's actually just the evil villain that talks like this and walked around with his hands behind his back and makes very elaborate gestures with his hands, and that's literally what he turned into.
Didn't he like start in season 1? What season?
Yeah, he was a character throughout, I think, the whole season, and it's like a show, and it's like just turns out no, he's the villain, he's the bad guy, and not only that, he's just this typical mustache twirling villain like that. He wasn't even interesting. He was just plot twist, and then like, oh okay.
But I have watched a show called Troll Hunters. That's pretty good.
That was written by the Hagemans. I wasn't impressed, I'll be honest with you. I think, again, you can tell a lot of that. This is, my theory was that after they went to write that, they were so interested in that and doing that, that when they came back to write Ninjago, they kind of were just like ready to finish it. And so they planned this arc and then, they exited it. go do
they
other
can.
things.
They're still continuing it, but it's like I forgot.
No,
what
the
it's called
Hageman.
now.
Oh yeah, but the Hagemans they're not on Ninjago anymore. So it was after they went to do Troll
Yeah.
Hunters, and then they came back, and it was like,
Wait,
yeah.
who owns Ninjago now?
Lego always has owned it.
Like who's writing it now though?
Braggy Shirt, that's his name.
Is he a good writer?
Yeah, he did very well for the first 3 episodes.
I don't know what he's done in everything else.
He's a
but I mean,
film writer, I think.
right,
Is this supposed to be at an angle? Is this supposed to be at an angle? This part here
What?
going down.
Here I can show you. I have this. Hold up. Here, I don't think so. No.
No. But on the thing, on the instructions, it looks like it's somewhat down.
Oh yeah, it's not angled. See, that confuses me.
How does that? If it's not
I'm
angled,
not
how
for
does
sure.
that work?
See, that's what confuses me because
I
like
think I'll keep it
sometimes
like
Lego
that.
the Lego
Yeah.
constructions booklet, I always get confused on which piece I'm supposed to put together. I'm like, okay, that's why I just
Yeah.
watch YouTube videos of it.
I really enjoyed it in the city and the docks when they were doing the water pieces that
Yeah,
they had those big. They had it in red, and that was really helpful. And then it vanished, and I was like, oh, okay, that was just for that part, was it?
yeah. I'm sad because I don't have the city docks or that Ninjago city set still.
Oh well, I didn't think I ended up okay. Temple of Jitsu was announced. I was like, I'm never getting that. It's too expensive. End 2017 with it, and I'm like, okay, well that means I'm never gonna get the city. And then at the end of 2018, I had both of them. Like, I don't know how that happened. I don't know. That ended up becoming a thing that happened. It was
Yeah, I
pretty
also missed out on
ironic.
the air. I missed out on the Air Jitsu Temple too.
I got it like a month before it went. I was very close to the retirement date.
Yeah, but the only thing I'm not missing out on is getting that monster set. That's the thing I'm getting.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that set's actually way better for a ninja base instead of like going to the Air Jitsu Temple.
Yeah.
Wait, did Cole's Rock Rotor, did that vehicle survive that fall?
I don't know.
Because I hope it did.
Question.
Oh wait, I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
all right, okay.
Thanks for joining.
Hey, it was nice.
You're
talking.
welcome.
See ya.
See you guys.
See ya.
Almost done, I think. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. We'll see how slow I'm going.
That's okay. Actually, I'll go do some comment reading.
Hey, interaction with the chat.
Yeah, right. Oh, nice. Someone got the monastery for Christmas.
Ooh.
That's cool. Yeah,
that was
I'm very close
early.
to getting it, but if I could make a full circle out of it, maybe. But
you need like 2 of them for that. I'd like, wait for it to go down in price and then buy 2. It's good. It's a good deal for the pro pieces, but I kind of want to get 2 of them just to use the parts to make a mock. But then I also want to build the set, so it's like, what do I do?
That's the thing I got with the Destiny's Bounty from the movie. One of my like a channel I watched a while ago.
I might be a bit crazy, but I plan to buy either second hand or when it goes down on a big reduce, because it does do it sometimes. Smith Toys, 2 more Ninjago cities, and the reason for is because if I can get them for like £300, if best case scenario, I get like 160, so 320. I think that is 320.
Yeah.
For 10,000 pieces, that is not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So and you can make even more city.
Yeah, even more city. That'd be what I would like to do. And the pieces are very versatile in that set.
I want to see if Brick Bros UK can do an entire city.
Wow. Yeah. I saw one the other thing. There was on the Beyond Bricks or whatever that channel's called. A convention. There was one, and I like it, but it's just like you kind of just I don't know. Like everyone puts the docks so close to the city, and logically it would not.
I think it's because it connects
on the same row, is it? Like when you look at the docks and you look at the city, I don't like that they're right next to each other. I think they look good together because they're similar builds, but they're just that's like outer skirts of the city, and that's in the center of town.
I think one thing that's kind of cool. What was it? Did you see the traction seat that someone made for it? So they made like a full on. It was like a wheeled. So they made Ninjago City.
Oh yeah, I did.
But that,
yeah,
really
they
cool.
just got inspired by the style.
Yeah,
I had no idea about anything about Ninjago, apparently, and just decided to go and make a big one like that.
Yeah, I thought also what was I going to mention? Sorry, there was something I was going to say about. I think I forgot. Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, buying 2 monastery training sets to complete the monastery walls. Yeah, that's a good call.
Oh, actually, that's interesting. Yeah, that would work, wouldn't it? I still think you should wait for them to go down a little bit in price, though. They won't go far, will they? Yeah.
Also, that was it. You know, Brick Bros UK. They actually do some pretty good Ninjago, like alternate builds. But I think ages ago, I remember like requesting they did one for the Cold's Dragon to do a multi build because I made that one of the bigger dragon, and they're like, yeah, we will definitely try and do that, as they tend to say in like replies to comments, and then they just never did it. I was really sad.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that the one that did the Sanctum Sanctorum and turned into a school?
Yeah, they do some pretty good ones, but they also do some pretty bad ones. And I can do an almost perfect impression of them. Hello, it's Brick Bros UK.
Oh, yeah. I
can't tell if they deliberately do that voice to sound family friendly or if it's like a.
That is 100% put on. I've never heard anyone that speaks like that in my life. Like that.
Maybe sure. I don't know, but it's just a bit of an unspoken thing that no one in the comments will say like, "Why'd you do that voice?"
No, and it's also like that's like the. That's the announcement.
I suppose it makes them iconic. Yeah.
But like I've seen other British YouTubers do it as well. It's like
have you seen Dr. Jake's very British reviews?
No, I don't. No, I haven't.
Yeah, he did some videos on Leppin a while ago, and he does a similar sort of.
Oh, him! Yeah. No, I know he was.
Hello, yes, sir.
His channel called Geeky Bricks is what I ended up. He's one of those brick linkers. So, but he does something similar with the. Oh dear, how do I put this in? Goes down.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, at some point, I feel like I want to maybe get into stop motion, but I just feel like I've not got the patience for stuff like that. So I really admire all of you guys.
My thing is that I really enjoy animation and I want to study it, but the problem is that I've just not spent enough time doing it. Yeah, and there's a course I can take, but it's not like you don't have to have any prior experience with it. So it's like I do have experience in animation, and by the time that's a thing that I need to worry about, I would have a lot more because I'm still not there yet. But still, it's like I don't know. He's like, do I have enough? I wouldn't say talent, but it's just not enough experience. And you also, obviously, animation is more than just stop motion, so it's like there's a lot of different styles. Although it is the basic same concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Mama just killed a man. They're singing Bohemian Rhapsody in the comments.
The comments. I've sort of. I want to say I'm ignoring it on purpose, but I do. My streams when I built the Stormbringer, and it took me like 3 hours. It was like 4 hours. It took me because I just kept stopping and reading the comments, and like the comments went crazy. It was mad. There was so many memes.
I like comments though. Hey, people in the comments, I appreciate you, and I keep getting distracted and I forget to look at the comments, but I will.
There's a lot of people watching. I didn't really expect this. Like, I was hoping that maybe the fact that I'm doing the Samurai VXL would, some people would want to come and see that at least for a few seconds. But there's actually been quite a lot of people watching at the time. I've given up on being monetized basically. it was a year ago that my second hit video came out, so I'm never going to get monetized. But I tried relatively hard in the middle of last year to try and get watch time, and just it's so hard, especially when you're streaming. It's the best way. It was the best way because of watch time, but still, it was so slow. I was very incrementally going up, and I had like 800 hours to go, which was a lot more than some people, but still.
Yeah.
I just need another hit video, but that's so much easier said than done.
Oh, or does he appreciate us? Who he loves us, lol. He doesn't lie. What? I appreciate everyone in the comments.
I don't.
See, there, I've said it. Smiley face, JK. Okay. You got me this time. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, Dr. Sanders being Crux was very obvious. Yeah.
It was.
Like, well, I think what was really good is when all the sets were leaked and we saw the two villains sat in like in the Iron Doom, and it's like, wait, I swear one of those is Dr. Sanders. And we were like, yep, there's Dr. Sanders. Like, what? It's that weird ass guy in it.
No way.
Like, I mean, I did actually see which was quite interesting. I saw a YouTube channel and she did a theory like when those first mini movies came out, and said that I think Dr. Sanders is a villain, and I kind of thought, yeah, okay, maybe, but yeah. I never thought it'd be that. But then it turned out later in like two seasons. Yeah, 2 seasons later. Well, no, actually, no, 1 season later. It turned out Dr. Sanders was actually a.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got it. Actually, that's another thing.
Guy.
When they first leaked the sets for the Day of the Departed, yeah, when like how they said they had all these bringing back all the old villains and stuff. I full on thought that was going to be the season with time travel, and they were going back to. And that's why all the villains were there.
I made a theory even about the realms and stuff, and it got a lot of views actually.
Yeah, because every season had a little bit of a hint towards the next one. Like how there were tons of pirate references in. Well, actually, there were quite a few ghost references in Tournament of Elements, because there were obviously the whole ghost serpentine, and then Cole gets that scene where Cole gets covered in flour.
Oh yeah,
it goes like completely white. I thought that was an interesting maybe nod to being a ghost in the next season. And then the season after, you had the cutlasses in the
Zane literally talks in pirate for like
Zane talking pirate speak. Yeah, so I thought since if they're going to hint something onto the next one, I thought time travel. The time travel in at the end of thingy would hint to it. So when Day of the Pirate came out, it's like, well, no, it's not time travel related. It's just ghosts. And then when Hands of Times came out, it's like, yeah. But sadly, there wasn't anything in the show hinting towards any swamps. Oh no, the natives are back. Boogly boogly. Oh yeah, boogly boogly. That was the. I can't do the voice, but wait. Oh yes,
I forgot that.
Oh yes, I am Dr. Saunders.
Dr. Saunders.
Boogly boogly.
Of the Ninjago Museum of History. I always Oh, what have I done? Oh wow, I'm bad at this. Whoa, that was stupid of me. Okay, I got it this time, I think. Yay, I did it. I tried to do audition for Sidious, Royal Star Sidious the other week. Didn't get it, but do it.
Yeah. Oh wow! I've just realised how many blue studs that set comes with. I guess it's because you have the 6 stud launchers on either side.
Yeah.
I guess blue studs are pretty cheap on Bricklink now, because you know how people they use it for water, don't they? Yeah. They're probably really high demand, but
I always take them from sets when I find them.
Actually, no, I think I never actually called that Harumi would be a villain until they showed it off in one of the trailers, because they showed the bit where someone using the mask that turns you grey. Yeah, someone noticed that they could see like a little bit of her hair.
I love
that. Like someone looked around, someone looked behind, you can see a bit of white hair, and it's just like I can't believe they spoiled that in the trailer.
Yeah, I didn't even that wasn't even it for me. It was just the fact that she was carrying away with the mask, and then someone else had it on. It's like, okay, they tried to hide it, but it was quite obvious. And then before then, and as the episodes were going by, it was like, yeah, you're evil. There is no way out of this. And what I love was that when I made the video, it got hate for so long. Like, so many people were like, nah, she's not evil. You're wrong. You got no idea what you're talking about. And then it turns out I was right. And then everyone's like, oh my goodness, she's the best villain ever. So good. And then everyone's 180 immediately. And it's just like, okay. Do a review on every Ninjago villain. Actually, I had an idea of that. I was going to go through and just quickly summarize a few points about each. Like, I was going to go through the main ones, and then I was going to go through the secondary ones, with like talking about design, about plot, about voice acting, all that stuff. And I've thought about it a few times, but I've got so many video ideas. It's like maybe, but maybe not. I'm going to try this Canon one first. I script that out. That Ultra Dragon one was scripted and everything, and I did the footage afterwards. I've got another video that's been scripted. It's a review on one of the old VizKid books, Mask of the Sensei.
Mask of the Sensei.
Where he turns evil.
That's another thing. I really like the whole
an authoritarian regime over the world, over Ninjago. Sensei would.
Yeah. One thing I did really like how the Oni masks were handled in that show. Especially since, if you think about it, what were the two names? There were the Mask of Hatred, the Mask of Revenge, and the Mask of...
The only problem with it is that these warlords were like completely pointless because the Omega was the only one. And also, the Vengeance one wasn't...
Well, actually, no, I think the warlords were real, but the only one surviving currently was Omega. The Omega was
didn't have any of that. Originally we thought it was like he was going to be one of the warlords. Yeah. And then my hope was that he was just one of them, and that it was only one warlord attacking Ninjago.
Maybe that is a thing. Maybe that is happening.
But then we got the flashback to the first realm, and nah.
But I don't think we've seen any. We never actually saw the Oni die. Remember? Like
no, they were willed out of the way with creation. So hopefully they didn't die, because that would be really stupid.
But
if they do, the only way that could make sense is if Garmadon was the thing that caused that to be destruction. If they did get destroyed, Garmadon is the only reason that would have happened. And I just don't see a tornado of creation destroying anything. Yeah. Even then, like he would have been overpowered by the others, and it wouldn't have been destruction. So I just really hope that they were like transported somewhere or something.
I just find it quite interesting that the Oni masks actually represented Harumi as a character. Like you got the Mask of Hatred, you got the Mask of Deception, and the Mask of Vengeance. She took revenge. Yeah, for 100%. The Great Devourer and all that, like the ninja screwing up her past. She deceived Lloyd, and I guess hatred is just her general hatred towards. That's probably the weakest one out of all of them, but I don't know. I genuinely think like Harumi's story and
it had potential, and it was almost the best, but then
it was really good in Sons of Garmadon, but then it did go down. You understand why people said it did go downhill.
Disagree. No, I completely disagree. I think it was really good the very first we get her revealing to Lloyd, amazing, absolute top quality writing. Yeah. There was motivation, there was motive, there was means, everything was there. Then she walks out the cave and suddenly she's just completely forgotten everything. And
that's why I think she was better as a villain at that whole thing in Sons of Garmadon. I
disagree completely. I just think she completely went off character. She was this naive girl who thought she was doing right, and then she ends up being the mustache twirling villain that knows more about Ninjago and the Oni than Garmadon does, because logic. And then she doesn't get back on track.
That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. I'm saying that at the beginning, at the beginning of, I kind of liked it more where she was just behind. She wasn't really actually, I suppose she wasn't being much of a villain for most of it, but I guess kind of as the quiet one, kind of behind the scenes. She was a bit odd, and I think the thing is, I found her a little bit annoying in Hunted. Just like the whole she kind of just got demoted. Well, she kind of got demoted to a secondary.
Annoying, but it made sense for the plot. Yeah. That was the logical place to take a character, and actually they did it, which was good. Unlike in Sons of Garmadon, where she kind of just floated about for a bit, and then the finale happened, and she was good in the finale, I think, but for the episodes in between, I think it was episode 80 something, 81, I think, when she was revealed. Because it was a cliffhanger in episode 80, and then at 81 she reveals herself to Lloyd, and after that point, she just kind of like goes down until the finale, and then Hunted, yeah, it was better. Oh, that's not right. I don't know. I just think she's a little overrated, to be quite honest with you. I don't have a problem with characters being overrated, and I don't hate them. But I'm not like someone that would have a problem with a character because she's popular in one sense. But I just think she doesn't deserve. There's nothing. She didn't do anything that deserved that.
I suppose, yeah. Yeah, I can.
Or at least not. She could have, but she didn't. It didn't go that far.
Ooh, the VXL is coming together.
Almost.
Oh, you're doing the shurikens on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't on screen. Oops.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it here.
Yeah. No, don't worry about having it on there. Oh wait, I'll go back to the comments. Hello, comments. Yeah, the Oni could be dormant. Yeah, like the Overlord. Yeah, because I think the Overlord's supposed to be still around.
He is. Okay, right. Again, it's like Tommy said on Twitter, but like in the show, as far as the show is concerned, he's dead. But like, okay, technically he could still be alive. But I don't know. I don't want him back now. I want the Oni were built up to be more important, and if they kind of like turn around and were like, no, the Overlord's back and he's more important now, I'm going to be pretty disappointed.
Yeah. Actually, I do agree with Zach in this, saying that Harumi becoming Garmadon's daughter was kind of weird, but I don't think it was useless to the plot. But it didn't seem. It seemed he didn't like her for most of the show, but then when he suddenly did like her, and then she died, he was like, no.
Even though he was emotionless, like what? Yeah. And then
it's quite interesting that he's becoming less and less like his emotional self now. As he
it's fine, returned. But like I just didn't like and I'm glad that they didn't redeem him at the end of Sensagama, much of the Oni. But like as in much of the Oni, they were thinking, you just expected him to be redeemed.
Yeah.
It was like, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? And then it didn't happen as well. And then it's like, oh yeah, what's that?
I think
left off a piece. Oh no, I've left off a piece. That's ridiculous.
No.
Well, the big one too.
I think the worst part is where you find a piece and you're like, this has to be part of the model somewhere, and you missed it like earlier in the build.
Yeah.
What's good is that because they're arranged into bags, you know if you've run out of something, you've not gone too far. You don't have to go too far back, but
no.
I've got Redbone in my head. You know that Childish Gambino song, Redbone.
Perhaps I don't actually.
It's not the This Is America. I didn't like that as much as everybody did. It's still cool.
Oh, Redbone. No, I think I have heard that one. Yeah.
But it's became a bit of a meme. Like all the comments of it are just like, this song makes me like. Well, I'll try and find this.
Oh, I know where this comes from. It's right there, isn't it?
Yeah, like the top comment is, this song makes me want to ask the Uber driver where he wants to go. Or like, this song makes me want the weed to roll and smoke me. Or this song makes me want the trash to take me out. This song makes me want to invent wheelchairs with pedals. This song makes me want to water my drink. This song makes me want to sit on the TV and watch the couch.
Oh no, we can't have an offense. Like, he can't be redeemed. Like literally, no. If he gets redeemed, he's saying in that form because there is no Sensei Garmadon to be redeemed. He can't be overlorded again. Like that can't happen again because that part of him is in the departed realm. He can't be turned back into that form because that's in the departed realm.
But the departed realm got destroyed.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, I did. Well, oh no, the departed. Oh yeah, no. What's the difference between the cursed realm and the departed realm?
The cursed realm's just for cursed ghosts.
For cursed
not a death realm. Yeah, that's it. The ghosts aren't dead. They're just stuck in. It's like purgatory, really, isn't it?
Also, that was why Garmadon became uncursed.
The one that doesn't make any sense is the underworld.
Yeah, what is the underworld supposed to be?
No idea. It's just not been answered at all.
Isn't Thingy stuck in Isn't aren't all the Skullkins still stuck on that Ferris wheel that they made?
They got down because in the Dark Island. Oh dear, what have I done? In the Dark Island trilogy,
the Dark Island trilogy, which I've
Klaus
still
ends
not
up.
read.
In the Dark Island trilogy, Klaus ends up in the underworld, and that's where he was. He is canonically still, but the Tommy and Drayson's Way of the Departed thing takes place at that time, like after, and takes place with Klaus's plan.
Oh, that
although
was
it's
one
not
thing that was
canon.
really weird. Like Klaus turned up in Skybound for a bit.
Yeah, I like that. And then like he ends up, and then it gets reversed. So he was still out there, and then that gives him a chance to go to the Dark Island.
Yeah. Except Nalakan was now never released, which is kind of a bit depressing.
What's that? Oh,
except now Nalakan has never come out and he's never real.
So where did he go? That's the thing. It's like, I wouldn't expect him to return. They do this with their villains. They never close it down. The only one that I'm really like I find it funny that everyone wants Harumi to return. But she's like one of the only ones to ever actually be 100% slapped out. Like, don't please. She's one that died. Let's keep her that way because otherwise she'll end up coming back, and I don't want that.
Remember when she says Lloyd in like the intro? So everybody's like, "Oh yes, because Harumi says something, she must be in there."
I think like after they all nag the writers, it's like, nah, she's never coming back. Like you ruined your only chance. Okay, I did it. I beat the game. I beat the. Hey. Let's just check how many sets I got out of this wave. Okay, I got that one. I got that one, and I got that one. Woohoo! I can never get the rest of them. What's that app? That app looks interesting. What is that? I have no clue. Legoland. Very interesting. I'm done. That took a long time.
Complete. Wait, how did the stickers go? Because I've suddenly grown to just like despise stickers.
There are only a couple of them.
My deck that I got, one of the stickers started peeling off, and I realized it wasn't. Well, no, we didn't peel off, but it wasn't Sino. I worded that wrong. No, I put it off center slightly, so I tried to peel it off, and it now means that one of the stickers got creased. So I've squashed it down and I've left it underneath a cup for a couple of days, and it seems okay now. But it was just kind of stressful because it was not stressful, but it was just annoying that I either had to buy a new set or I had to mess it up a little bit. Luckily, it wasn't a particularly important sticker, but there's so many. If you get that set, the only problem is there's so many stickers that you put on a circular base. So unless you have the piece put down, you'll have no idea like where things are going to be facing.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Okay, now
I think Nia needs her own separate season. I think Cole needs his own separate fall season. It's kind of odd that the two that were technically his are all like specials or short. And I mean, Cole wasn't even that big in.
And then he almost died in one. That wasn't even to do with him, though, was it? Really, that was the only thing.
Yeah. Also, as great as it was that they used the music for Zane's death in that scene, it didn't hit me emotionally because I knew he wasn't dead. And also, it was such a comedic scene. He got knocked off the ladder. And he got swung around, like, full on, like, hitting his head.
Like, oh, boo-hoo, I killed him. No.
Some screw up, like, nothing. And then he just falls, and then he falls. It's like, oh, sorry, he's died. Oh, no. But yeah, it was handled well, but the end result at the end, like, where it's just like, oh, no, I'm back. Maybe wasn't as good.
Return to life.
Yeah.
No consequences here.
I just want him a ghost. I want him back as a ghost. Which is bad, because when he was
it made him stand out. Be interesting. But no, can't have that. It makes me wonder whether the Oni could have taken the cursed realm, and maybe that's what they were waiting. No, but like, it's like the ghosts were so strong, they were really overpowered, and that the only problem they had was like water. So one elemental master could beat them. Only one. I guess the first one could do it because she could have had water, but. And also, I wonder if like other realms were cursed there, like were those dragons, cursed dragons, and Would
That's
there have been Chima in there? I
I
always
like those. I'm gonna call them
theory,
wyverns.
mm,
Most of them seem like wyverns, but
but like that's the form of dragon. So,
yeah, that's
but
sort of.
the thing was, I always wondered if the skeletons with the different heads were Chima characters.
Actually, yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I didn't think about that, especially since Cruncher and Knuckle did not look human.
They didn't, and neither did Samakai or Whiplash. But I just, especially after the way they changed them.
Like one episode. Like I
Yeah,
swear
he was in a mini movie. That was it. And then he got a cameo in Skybound Skybound.
Oh yeah, because he got in Skybound. He replaced for that cameo in Skybound. He replaced Cruncher for some reason in that one.
Yeah.
Also,
so he's canon, but like.
And then they messed up in all this. It's quite funny in all the not the stories, but all like the separate material from the show, like the build up and all the promotional things for the first Ninjago stuff.
Yeah.
Cruncher was kind of made out to be still pretty beefy and quite a strong guy, but Knuckle was supposed to be the intelligent, like he was supposed to be like intelligent and kind of like sinister. Yet in the show, Knuckle was just a complete idiot, and Cruncher was just like, oh
yeah.
Oh wait, all the talk about the Lego Movie 2 song. I have a good version of Everything Is Awesome.
I love the Not Evil song.
Yeah, that's very good. Actually, that's one thing. The musical numbers in the film actually didn't have as. I usually don't like songs in films. Well, I don't tend to like musicals as much, but they actually enhance the film. So I was happy with that. Also, even if you do feel like you've had a little bit of it or a big part of it spoiled for you, I guarantee you'll still enjoy it because I predicted the twist of the film anyway, and I still had a good time. So I would recommend it. Also, it's got a really nice message at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not anything like politically motivated or anything, because I went into it thinking, with the whole the whole trailer, like, and
the trailer, yeah.
That was most of that was taken out of context in the trailer, and Emmett actually does a load of stuff, which is good because in all the trailers, Emmett was kind of put out to be a bit of like a goofball. He didn't really do anything, but one of his
it was damaged in distress. Yeah. The opposite.
But the big part of the film was actually that he's trying to show himself that he can. He wants to be tougher.
Yeah, I've seen clips, but that's not spoil for others. So.
Oh yeah, well, it's not. That's not really a spoiler because you see that in the film. I won't say anything on that, but Emmett is handled extremely well in that, especially since he wasn't actually my favorite character in the first one. I thought he's cool, but he wasn't my.
I think in the first one, his arc was so good. It was so well handled, and he really grew by the end of it. And that's what I was worried for.
Okay, so
I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah, we've streaming
back
now, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I might, as you come back, I might have to go. Sorry, just because
I'm going to be stopping as well. I built the set now.
Sorry.
I built the set so I can now pull together the other figures here from Where the Departed.
Are you using? Oh, you're using hands for time suits for Where the Departed?
Well, it takes place between that time. The spoiler. This is
I'll roll the ninja in Where the Departed.
In my chapter, that's the only time they're in all of them. Wait, no, I think they're in 2 as well, 3 as well. But and there's our cold design.
Oh, are you using Ninjago movie design?
No, it's a bit mixed. It looks like the concept art. You look at it.
Oh yeah, I looked at the.
And then
I read it.
These are supposed to be Hands of Time suits, but I don't have them. You can kind of imagine that they are, right? Like.
Oh yeah, because they're wearing the samurai.
Yeah, I can see them.
You can like if you looked at them from a distance, you wouldn't be able to really tell that they weren't.
Are they supposed to be wearing the samurai armor though?
Yeah, because they'll be doing a training thing.
Yeah.
I'll try to set up the scene. Lloyd is going to be like that. And Zane will be there, and then I can now grab Nia. So Nia and Kai will be doing a little bit of spar, and Yang the shot is Yang floating over and watching them as they do it. So that's the shot. So you won't be able to make out who's who or what suits they're wearing, but I just wanted to say because it is a bit annoying that I can't use them all, and it annoys me, but I think I've hidden them well. So that's all I got time for. I've been streaming for how long? Let's check. 2 hours. Wow, I'm really bad at building. So thanks for joining number 2 of the Droidcast. We've given it a name now, the Droidcast. I'll be doing these after I do the face reveal because I think the problem with these streams is that you're not seeing much. You just see my hand go down, and then it's like, oh look, I'm messing with the thing, and then you can't see. So when I actually have the freedom to, after 1,500, I will improve the quality of this. So thank you all for watching. This has been fun, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Okay. Have a good one. See you. Actually, wait, we're still in, aren't we? But the thing's going. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to have to call it.